Good evening everybody. I hope you're doing well this fine Sunday evening. Welcome to my Sunday night stream. I hope everybody had a lovely weekend. We are just enjoying the sights of Borealis on the periphery here. Good evening Wallon, how are you? And Danny, thanks for stopping by. Hope you've had a lovely weekend. Oh, coming straight in there, Danny. 4 months in a row, 10 in total. That's amazing. Thank you for your continued support. Really appreciate it. Let's see both some chef's hats and some thumbs up for Danny. Thank you very much for your support. Really appreciate it. Sent me DM earlier. If you could take a look after the stream when you can. I had a look, Danny. Yes, I'd certainly like to pass the host on. If you let me know who it is later, I'll be able to do that for you. Good evening, Nox and Mushy and Arthurs. How are you all? And coming in with the 100 bits as well. That's amazing. Thank you. Has used 150 bits. Sorry, got that wrong. And Bacon Bits, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. I do apologise if you get me catching my breath a little bit earlier today. I'm in a little bit of pain from pulling my lat muscle earlier, so if I do suddenly stop speaking, it's just because I'm momentarily sore. It should be okay. So rough mailbox yesterday. It was very rough. Samadan had 41 gold. It's the Latimus dorsi, the big long one at the back. I was basically polishing some wooden shelves and literally just wasn't holding my posture correctly, and the muscle itself has gone into spasm today, so it's a little bit sore. But hopefully it should be alright. Let's go and have a look at the mailbox, see if we can distract ourselves with some gold. See how things go there. Right, what have we got? Oh, we're all the way over here. I forgot about that one. More bananas. That would be useful. I haven't had any in a while, actually. Oh, another 100 bits. Thank you very much, Danny. Very kind of you. Wave86, how are you? Sending some healing bits. Oh, thank you, Danny. Very kind of you. Let's go on over. Let's go take a swim. Get back to the auction house, as we're a little further away than we would be normally. Let's sail along our Brutosaur, going nice and speedily because we have our angler rod on us, which is really nice. Fast Brutosaur. There we go. And back up. Oh, we hit a rock. There we go. Let's go around this way. Good evening, Sensors. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us on our Sunday stream. So yes, we had a pretty rough mailbox yesterday. So I relisted everything on this morning. So hopefully we've got a few extra things in the mailbox. And a few more. Not a huge amount, to be honest. Look at that. So we've got 14,000. We've got Deadly Navigation. That's probably been reset, actually, because that's quite cheap. And we've also got Quick Navigation and Versatile Navigation. And Sailor's Pie. Oh, a couple of Eternal Fires. We bought those for effectively 70 gold. So selling 5 for 431 is pretty nice. Quite happy with that. What's that? 431 divided by 5. Is that enough? Hold on. That's kind of half that, isn't it? Times 10. Hold on. Let's have a look at calculator. 431 divided by 5. 86 gold. So a 16 gold profit per Eternal Fire. Not massive, but still alright. Good evening, John. How are you? She sends her all the gold makers are in the house tonight. Indeed, they are. Hey, M. Vodek, how are you? Bonsoir to you. but I've sold some food. I have sold a little bit, swamp fish and chips there, and cold tiramisu, so that's not too bad. It's Nessie, yes it is, indeed. Knocks one out. I like the name. Thanks for stopping by. What else have we got? We need to hang out somewhere while making gold. Exactly. Well, we've all come to the right place. Good to see you all. Right, let's have a look. Okay, so not a massive mailbox compared to my previous ones, because I'd been opening the mail these past couple of days since Friday, just so that we could see things coming through gradually. So it's quite an interesting indication of when I haven't been that active on the auction house, like I haven't been active today, and I wasn't active yesterday. And you can see that's reflected in the amount of gold I make here. So it's interesting to see. Let's open up this mail anyway. Maybe we can do a cancel scan on the enchants and see if we can get a few sales of those. We also need to do some restocking, so we'll have a look at that. Let's have a look at, let's move this across a little bit. Let's go over to, let's deselect these and just take the BFA enchanting. Let's run a cancel scan on those, see how that goes. Oh, did I miss you coming in, Will Webster? Oh, hello, saw you there. Hope you're doing well, thanks for stopping by. So yeah, it looks like we've got a few undercuts here. Let's see if we can post these back on. Now we also need to think about the price of our bracer shuffle, because I've pretty much used up all of my stock. So if I'm going to want to get any more bracers, I'm going to have to relook at my prices and decide what I'm going to do about that. Because the prices have just been going up and up and up, and so it may get to a point where the bracer shuffle's not going to be as viable as I first had with my profit margins, which is kind of expected, to be honest. Really, prices will even themselves out over time as more and more people use methods like that to get things more cheaply. So let's post that lot on whilst we're here. Let's run a quick post scan on those. Get those back up again. Oh, Catrozo, how are you? Share, happy milestone, you hit gold cap on your main today. Oh, congratulations, Catrozo, that's fantastic. Gold cap is an amazing achievement. Congratulations. Let's see, Chef's hat, and in fact, let's do some Samadan golden eyes for that. Well done indeed, that's fantastic. Alright, we're going to post these on Stalwart, Torrent of Elements. Ooh, look at the profits on those. Only 126, 520, 429. That's 1,600 on the critical strike, that's good. 1,700 on that, and 2,200 on that, so those are good. Those are very good, and then the rest not as amazing. Oh, that's alright actually. Okay, let's get those on. Let's post those all up. And get all those on. Then hopefully we might generate some sales over the course of tonight. See who's on and what's going on that front. You bought both 7 tokens, emptying the gold reserves, and bought both 6 months game time and some battle balance left. Oh, that's brilliant. I'm going to need to do something similar myself soon, because I am at 1 month left of my game time. So I will need to buy some more tokens. I've got 3 in the bank already, so I need to do some more. Probably need to buy one soon actually. What's the price at the moment? 162, actually that's quite a good price. Let's buy one now whilst we're here. I'll take that one, and we'll come back to that later. There we go. What else did I miss there? Midnight Hawk Gaming, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Times rate being that high for so long now, maybe a set price for it going forward on your particular server. Yeah, I got a feeling we're gonna have to readjust our prices definitely. I just got a message that TSM has updated. Oh, interesting. I've not seen it come up yet. Where are we at? 4.7.4 at the moment. If I do get a notification, then maybe a reboot will help. It was 159 in the morning, was it? I should have bought it then. Right, okay, so we're done with that. Let's have a quick look actually whilst we're here and look at the bracer items. See what we need to do shuffling wise. 4.7.4 is the update. Oh, okay. pretty much every morning. Got in about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, was it? Oh, Tempest High's looking good. Look at that. 2 gold 44. Yes, please. What else have we got? Everything else is above average buy price, as would be expected. That calcified bone's not looking too bad, though. 357. Deep Sea Assassin's way up high at 84. Embroidered's down at 43. So yes, definitely that Tempest Hide needs to be bought. There's not a lot of it. There's a 51 there. I'll take that. And I might leave that 3 on there as an offering to the auction house gods. The 5 and the 6 gold isn't actually a bad price for Tempest Hide. Looking at that, we could make use of that, because that's still going to give me some good Bracer Shuffle prices at that. So I'm going to pick up these big pretty stacks here. It's going to up my average, but that's not surprising really. So I'm going to take those, and then the next 200 here is at 649. Let's have a look else. What else have we got? Misscale we'll need to look at, because we will need to buy some stuff. Now there's not a lot here. Where's Misscale average purchase price? 10 gold, right. Okay, so 200 is the nearest one to under my average buy price. So I'll take that Misscale. And then we're a little bit higher here. So wouldn't worry about Tyso prices too much. Moved a couple of farmers over to my server. They should be able to farm enough for your gold makers. Oh, brilliant, Will Webster. I know you were drooling at the prices last time, so that's good to know. More farmers is more than welcome. Right, I'm going to pick up a few of these scraps of Misscale. Let's take a few of these. I'm going to leave one. Oh no, missed that one. Let's leave that 7 and pick up some of the 853s and stuff like that. Let's take a few of these whilst they're at least cheaper than my average buy price. We also could do with Shimmer Scale, really. That's the main thing. Yeah, I've got plenty of Misscale. The main thing I want is Shimmer Scale, which is up here at 8 golds 20. And then Calcified Bone here at 457. The things I really need is the Coarse Leather, Shimmer Scale, and Tide Spray. Looking at the prices of those are all fairly high. Let's pop these into the spreadsheet, I think, and have a look at these. See if we can do something with those. First off, though, let's take a look at my buys here. Let's open up all of these. Go through all of those. Oh, I need to actually delete that now we've picked it up. There we go. And we can open all of those. There we go. Alright, so let's have a look. Every time I move forward to the microphone, you get half a heart attack. Oh, sorry, Mushy. I must have to just check my positioning a little bit more. Lizard GM, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you indeed. I hope you had a good weekend. Right, so we've got that lot. Let's go. Oh, we've still got our angler on at the moment. So let's go and change that over before I forget. Otherwise I'll end up going into combat with that on me, which isn't going to be any good. There we go. Swap over to that. We do have a bit of Misscale here and some Tempest Hide and some Calcified Bone. Right, so let's have a look at our prices. Let's move on over. You have? Excellent. Good to hear. Right, so let's go on over. Let me just bring up my spreadsheet. Which one is it? It's that one. Bracer Super Shuffle. Right, let's bring this over. So those are my prices as they were. So I'm just going to go through. I'll do this off screen actually. It's easier to have this on one screen and then on another one. So let's bring up the shopping again and we can put the prices back in. That'll be the easiest. Imagine 9 gold 70 is 40% of normal prices for course on your server. You can buy about 500 for under 16 gold. Wow. Okay, that's expensive. I mean, 17 is expensive though. Hi, good evening, Gorgo. How are you? And French Stud, thanks for stopping by. And the Ice Wolf Fenris. Love the name. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. There's even more Tempest Hide there. Ah, there we go. Versatile Navigation has just sold. Right, let's put in my averages of these. I think I'll take that one. Just Fenris. Okay, no problem. So let's have a look. Tempest Hide. Average buy price is still 4 gold 7. So I can make quite a lot of honourable bracers with that. So that's quite good. 407. Let's pop that in. It's slightly higher than my 284. So 4.07. And then let's go on to the next one, which is Misscale, which is 10 gold 13, which is similar to my 1057. 1013. Enter that one. All these familiar faces, quite a lovely gold family. It is indeed. It's lovely to see everyone in similar streams. Gold making community is lovely. Yep, I definitely second that one, Sensors. Everyone is so supportive. It's really nice to see. So Hardened Tempest Hide, we're missing. Bloodstained Bone, we're up at 759. That's a bit less than I had at 834. 7.59. Do we have stock of it though? Yes, we do. Calcified Bone, we have lots of that at 242. 2.42. And then Tide Spray Linen, yes, we're looking at this at a 6 gold average, but we've got an average here of 868. So let's take that as 6 for the moment, but I know that's going to be too cheap. So let's have a look at this on average, and it's more like 8 or 9 gold there. So let's put that in for now, because I know I don't have any stock of it. I've only got 11 on me, so there's no point taking my average price of that. I might as well take the market price of that. So let's change that to 9 for now. And then Shimmer Scale, again we've got no stock of it, so let's take the market price of this, which is more like, again, 8 and 9. So let's take 9 again of the Shimmer Scale. So we're using the market price here because we don't have any stock. Now we actually have 2000 coarse leather, which I've been holding on to for my Sinister gear, because my coarse leather average purchase price is 916. So let's pop that in. 916. Did that come through? Coarse leather, where is it? 916, yes, there it is. And then Deep Sea Satin is massively expensive at 85. I've got 1500 left, still average of 33, that's still expensive. And then Nylon Thread we're ignoring at the moment because we buy that anyway. Right, okay. Let's see, everyone is so kind and helpful with answering questions, even when not about gold making. That's exactly true, Bacon Bits, definitely. You thought your Deep Sea Satin was expensive at 60. Yeah, it's very high on Shadow Soul. Sorry to interrupt. Can you tell me where on the tooltip it shows me how much you purchased an item for? So if you look on the tooltip, it's in the TSM accounting. It says it's kind of like just a bit further down from the group, telling me how many in my inventory at 1028. I can't point to it with the mouse, unfortunately, because the mouse is stuck to the tooltip. But then under TSM accounting, it has sold there for this one. We have purchase here for TSM accounting. It's the middle one because it's min, average and max price. So 2 gold 42 is my average for calcified bone. If you don't have it on your tooltip, have a check of your settings in TSM and go into here on your settings, tooltip settings, under accounting, and turn on all of this stuff. because that will display purchase info here is the one you want there. But that should sort you out, hopefully. And whenever you watch EU Gold Makers, you never complain about your prices. Hi Atlas, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. First time catching one of my streams live. Great to be here. Thanks for all my videos and streams. You're more than welcome, Atlas. Good to have you on the live stream. Even tokens are reasonable compared to our 160. Yeah, that's very true. Very true indeed. You never craft, so this is helpful. No problems, Sea Thrift. Glad we can offer some assistance. Just getting those kind of prices, you'd be fine with 160k tokens. Yeah, there is that flip side, isn't there? We put in our averages, so let's go actually and have a look at the spreadsheet now. Let's bring this over. So I put in the averages, and where I don't have an average, where I haven't got stock, I put in the market price roughly. So looking at this, Tide Spray's at 9 roughly, Shimmer Scale's at 9 roughly, and Coarse Leather's at 9.16, so they're all quite similar. So Tide Spray Bracers are 92, Coarse Leather's 85, and Shimmer Scale is just coming under at 84.36. Because the Coarse Leather here is at 9.16. So if I was to buy Shimmer Scale for around 9 gold, that would be my cheapest. And from there, that gives me an Umbra Shard price of about 184 and a Gloom Dust price of about 12.30 with an Expulsion price of 147. Then looking at the Honourable Bracers, it's still cheaper for me to use the Tempest Hide that I've still got a lot of stock of, which gives me a Veiled Crystal price of 215, which is not too far from my Umbra Shard price of 184. Plus we get the extra Umbra Shard here. So looking at that, my main things to be buying would be Shimmer Scale. I could probably go as much as 10 gold. And that takes me to 90 for that, 186 for that. So let's go have a look. And have a look at what we've got here. What did we have? I've missed a whole load of stuff on the chat. Let me see what I've missed out on. Is Trader Joe's accepting newbie farmers in the guild? Trader Joe's is literally just it's Gumdrops' old guild, which he very kindly gave to me when I started streaming, because Gumdrops used to be on Shadow Song, my server I've always been on, and he moved over to Ravencrest, so he very kindly gave me his old guild, which was Trader Joe's, which is where that comes from. Yes, TSM was updated. I don't know what the changelog is on it though, so I'm not exactly sure. Remember, Coarse Leather can be used for the bardings. Yes, exactly. So I want to keep hold of my Coarse Leather. I don't really want to use it on the bracers. That one RPG dude, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Long time no talk. Life is hectic. About to have your first baby that's coming. Oh, congratulations on your first alt. May you have many adventures leveling your alt. It's a fantastic adventure. I can attest to that, certainly. And the Shimmer Scales for diving suits, that is also true. Check Erfen. We will need to check Erfen, definitely. Any chance you could make a copy of the spreadsheet? Absolutely, you're welcome to take a copy of it. I do have the link, which I'll paste into chat. You don't need to request edit access or anything. You literally just need to save it as your own copy, and you'll be able to make use of it. I've got a whole YouTube video going through and explaining it. I've got 2 YouTube videos actually. If you have a look on my channel, it's under the next to the deep dive of tailoring. Oh, and it's on the Discord as well. Yes, under useful useful items. Yes, thank you, Mushy. I'm slowly catching up on chat. Hold on, let me go through. Made your first million. Oh, congratulations, Adrios. That's a brilliant milestone. Let's see some chef stats for Adrios. That's fantastic to get that first million. I remember doing it, and it was really, really nice because it's such a psychological boost. Spreadsheet for the win. It definitely is. Right, I think I've caught up. Let me just go through and check on this. So we're looking at the prices of these. Let's just go through this for the moment. So I was looking at shimmer scale. I would buy shimmer scale. There's some tie spray linen come in there at 200. No, not quite sure. Hold on. Oh wow, Azeroth, thank you very much for the 6 months of Prime. Very much appreciated, all your support. 6 months gives you a new colour of the Samadan chef's hat. I think you're going to pink, or is it blue for 6 months? I can't remember. I think it's blue for 6 months. So let's see some chef's hats for Azeroth. Thank you very much. Right, before I go too much, oh, and Marsba coming in as well for 7 months. Wow, congratulations. Thank you also for your support. Really do appreciate it. See some more chef's hats for Marsba. Thank you very much indeed. So I'm looking at shimmer scale, 8 gold, 20. What have you got here? There's a 200 here. I'm going to buy those. Now look at that. 10 stacks of 200 at 9.99. That is incredibly convenient. And we looked on our spreadsheet, 9.99 is actually okay. Blue is nice, but you're after the gold. Exactly. Don't change the colour. I wasn't sure what to do with the colours, but definitely gold for a year definitely is the way forward. So we were looking at shimmer scale at 10 gold, which gives me arm guards at 90, which gives me umbra shards at 186. So I'm actually quite tempted to buy up all that shimmer scale because I'll use it definitely. So 10 stacks of 200 at 9.99. Let's go for it. And then if I compared that actually with that Tide spray that is also there, where's that Tide spray go? There was a Tide spray stack of 200 here at 865. Let's have a look at that because we might be able to grab some of that at 865. Gives me Tide spray at 89, which just pips the shimmer scale at 10. So we're going to take the Tide spray as well, and we can do both of them. So we're going to take that lot of there, and we're also going to take, where's the other Tide spray gone? 188, 865. Now this lot here at 920 is probably a little bit high. So if we go to 9.20, now that the Tide spray goes up to 94 gold, so it tends to shift a little bit there. Good point, Mushy. I'm going to go and have a look at that in a bit, just to see if there's anything cheaper that we can do. So let's do that now, whilst it's fresh in my brain. Let's have a look at the enchanting mats and see what we've got here. So veiled crystals coming in at 400 gold. We were looking at a price of 200 and something. Does that correspond with our mat cost? Yeah, 206. Umbra shards are coming in at 188, and we're about 169 mat cost there, so that's interesting. Crafting cost is coming in at 103 based off of the veiled crystals, but I don't really want to do a veiled shatter on those. So those would almost be tempting to buy. I mean, there's 49 of them. That's a pretty decent amount actually. Where was my spreadsheet? Let's have another quick look at that. So yeah, 186 is currently here for the Umbra shards at these prices. So 186 is incredibly close to 188, and to be honest, that saves me a bucket load of time as well. So I'm going to buy these at that price. Now bearing in mind I'm using my weighted values, so my figures are slightly arbitrary. I could up and down them a little bit just basically by changing my weighted values, but the thing that is a rough ballpark, and that keeps me in Umbra shards for a little while. I'm going to buy those 2 lots of 20 as well whilst I'm here because it's close enough, and then I'm going to leave those for the moment. And then looking at the gloom dust, this is actually at 10 gold, and that's cheaper than my gloom dust price, which mat cost is coming in at 11.49 there. So I might actually buy. Now I actually got 1,500 gloom dust, so I actually don't need a lot of this. I'm just going to buy the 49 for now, and the veiled crystals I'll keep because my veiled crystal price is definitely good. Okay, so that's the purchasing done. Let me just put my windows back in order, and we can have a look at what we just collected. And Seathrift, thank you very much. Oh, Danny, thank you very much for gifting the sub to Seathrift. Very kind of you. See some chef's hats and thumbs up for Danny and Seathrift. Welcome to the Samadan squad, Seathrift. And what else did I miss on chat? Let me just go back through. Hold on, we've got loads to do. Hold on, let's go all the way back up. You have this level 64 Death Knight. Took the wrong boat to Northrend and end up in Borealis. Can a level 64 Death Knight learn professions in Borealis? I don't think so, French Stud. I think you'd have to be 110. But yeah, as Will says, give it a try. How was the mailbox? Mailbox were about 14,000, so it's pretty lackluster. But then we'd collected up a lot of stuff from the previous days, so that's not surprising. And I haven't been on that much at all either. Don't talk about the mailbox this week. If you add it all up though to what I would normally have on a Sunday night stream, then it does kind of match up. Is the concept of my spreadsheet basically how much mats cost to make braces and then how much you gain by selling the DE mats? It's not so much by selling them, it's basically me wanting to then use those mats to then make enchants, which make even more profit. So I don't actually sell the enchanting mats, I use them to make even more things that give me more profit, because a lot of my enchanting, if we have a look here, based on those prices, I can make at least a sort of 1,000 or 2,000 profit on just a few veil crystals and a few umbra shards. So for me it's actually worth it making a lot of these enchants, and they sell really quickly as well. What else did I miss out on? Level 64, I guess, would need Wrath Professions. Trainers need to be in the Wrath zones, unfortunately. Need to be 110 to get the Professions. Okay, that would make more sense. Veiled's gone back down to normal prices finally, in the 350 to 400 range. That's pretty cool. What's the price of Infinite Dust? Not sure, Arthurs. We can have a look at that. Let's have a quick look here.
Needs to be at least 2 centuries old.
There we go. About 7 gold at the moment. I've only got 23 on me. Don't know how much I use it for. Oh, which one did I miss there? Oh, was that the one? Thank you. Thank you, Danny. We'll have a look. Seathrift, welcome on. We can do another open world this evening as well. Okay, excellent. Good to know, Seathrift. Let's do a... hold on. On behalf of Danny, Seathrift. Did I spell that correctly? We can go check out Seathrift. Danny recommends Seathrift, so that goes as the... Oh, sorry, I just moved there. That caused some pain. Hold on one moment. There we go. About. Right, let me go have a look back up. What did I miss on here? Welcome to the competition. That's awesome to hear. I hope we can do another open world this evening as well. Oh, excellent. Last question for the moment then. Do you need my group's operations to make the spreadsheet make sense? No, at all, Fenris. You just need... Ah, Mushy's already answered it there. Just the weighted string and the material list, exactly. So you don't need my operations and groups. Where do you put the string? You put it in your materials. So what you have, if I bring up the list here, As you go down here, these are the strings for the different materials: Umbra Shards, Gloom Dust, Expulsum, and then Nylon Thread is a manual one. So you take those and you copy those, and then you go into your materials. So go into your crafting reports, go onto this side, materials, look for each of the things, like Gloom Dust, select that, and then you paste it into there. And you do that for each of your enchanting materials, and that will give you a mat cost based off of the price of all those different things in the spreadsheet. There we go, crafting it, there we go. Oh, Mushy's gone through it all. Had me dazzled for a bit, it's made no sense whatsoever. As for you, enchanting mats were lower than the crafting mats. As for me, enchanting mats were lower than the crafting mats. Yes, which was the purpose of this is the method of getting them. But now that's all changed, hasn't it? Is there a template spreadsheet that folks are using, or is each unique? Well, that spreadsheet I've been using, this one is one I've made up myself, based off the prices of everything that I've gone through, and using the bracelet shuffle method, which comes out with some rough averages here per 100. Now this is a rough ballpark because I haven't got some exact data for coarse leather and shimmer scale, but for me it counts a little bit, and the weighting is also a little bit kind of arbitrary based on my own sort of like looking at the numbers and thinking that looks about right, especially the balance between Umbra Shards, Gloom Dust and Expulsum. Now your time spray was 12 and Umbra was like 50. Well, that makes sense then, Mushy, doesn't it? Right, so let's carry on. So we bought a whole load of stuff. Next thing, we need to go pick it up and maybe make some braces. We did pick up a nice bit of Umbra Shards here though, so maybe we don't actually have to do the bracelet shuffle at the moment. But we do have some stock, which is also useful. So we can turn that into some things. But let's have a look at our auctions and see if we do need to restock on things. So let's have a look here. Refresh our list. And then go back to enchanting, back to crafting. Let's clear the queue. And then do a restock on everything. What do we have? So we have Pact of Versatility, 4 quick navigations, a little bit of cooking, not a lot, and some bracers, silkweave satchels, and hexweave bag. Now these silkweave satchels, it all depends on the price of Shaldra silk. So let's have a quick check of that whilst we're here. Shopping, favourites, Shal, where's Shal? There it is. Let's have a look for that. Turn-in starts again. Yeah, of course, there's the always the turn-ins. Can I go to a work with my back like this? I'll give it a go. I've got a cycle tomorrow morning, so that's going to be interesting. But we'll see how it goes. So 4 gold 50. We have 7 stacks of 200 here. 4 gold 50. My current mat cost though is 2 gold 42. I'll find out soon enough. Yeah, exactly. So let's have a look. Exactly, you can't mount your bike. I basically pulled my lat muscle, Marsburr, so all on my left side at the back is really sore. Ride your bike is what we usually do, or get on your bike would be the other thing. Get on your bike is also another thing. But the good news is I was polishing some shelves that I've made to go just up here, and with the help of my wife giving me some more sort of feedback, we were able to really make some nice polished beeswax shelves, which is basically driftwood that I collected off the beach ages ago. The Dutch have a separate word for that. Oh, right, okay. Thank you, Lolacost, for the cheers. Very kind of you. Even Shadow Ice book are on Shadow Song. You're going to have a great time as a farmer. Excellent, Will. Well, can you lower the prices, and that'll be brilliant for everyone. I've been saying start of his streaming that a farmer could do very well on his server. Exactly, Danny. You're very correct on that one. I'd certainly be buying a lot of these things. So yeah, 4 gold 50 for Shalder Ice Silk. If we were to look at a Silkweave Satchel and the prices of those, let's have a look at our tailoring.
If you find anything
Let's do a search for it. So the profit is only 280, and we need 90 Shalder Ice Silk to be able to do that. So if you were to look at that, where's the calculator gone again? So if the price was 4 gold 50, 4.5 times 90, that would cost me 405 for a Silkweave Satchel, and the min buyout is currently 498, so the profit would basically be about 90 gold. Actually, isn't too bad. What was the price of Shalder Ice Silk? Let's have a look.
have anything ancient to trade?
Where was our last one?
Be at least 2 centuries old.
Was it 4 gold 50? Was it higher than that? It was 4 gold 50. So at that price, so for 405, you could possibly make... A min price was well under 300, was it though? Let's have a look again. Let's have a look. Actually, let's have a look at the current prices. Silkweave Satchel. So yeah, the current price is at 497. So that would be okay if we went 405. My min price silver bags. Yeah, which is currently at 239, which is based off my mat cost being down to the Shalder Ice Silk of 218 for the 90. But if I buy this silk, then my mat price will go up, because my average price is so much lower. Exactly. That's the thing. There we go. Oh, wow. Here comes Proxiva with a whole load of gifted subs again. Wow, what an entrance, Proxiva. Thank you again. I'm still reeling from last week of you doing this, so that is absolutely amazing. Good evening to you too, sir. I hope you're doing well. Sir or madam, actually. But thank you. Wow. 10 gifted subs. That's amazing. Thank you again. It's going to be sub-only chat soon. Definitely. Look at that. That's amazing. Oreo's just spinning in circles. Thank you very much. Here comes the sub train. Good evening, Sam. Good evening, all. Thank you very much, Proxiva. That's quite the entrance. Thank you indeed. So I think from looking at this price and looking at the Shalder Ice Silk price, it's worth us buying this Shalder Ice Silk. So I'm going to buy all 7 of 200 at 4 gold 50. That way we can make those. We'll leave the rest of those going. Oops, press the wrong button there. Let's go through and open up all of those. Askalor, how are you? Good evening, hope you're doing well. No worries, Fenris, there's no such thing as a noob question. Asking questions always, but point out which numbers you take from the tooltip to add to your spreadsheet. Just don't want to get the wrong info. Okay, let's the average buy price. So if I can show it somehow, let's have a look. So looking at my Shalder Ice Silk, I've just literally bought a whole load more now. And you can see here, just at the bottom, sort of like middle of all the information under TSM accounting, if you look under, I can't move the cursor any lower, unfortunately, without pointing at it, but where in the middle it says 4 gold 42. I don't know if you can see that enough, but that's basically where you want to look at it, because you have a TSM accounting has a purchased min, average and max price. So the minimum is what's that, 3 copper. So that's the lowest I've ever bought it for. And then the maximum is 4 gold 50. So my average is coming in at 4 gold 42. If that works. What have I missed? There we go. Good evening, Annette. How are you? Always a pleasure. Very kind of you, Proxiva. Maybe put a screenshot in Discord with an arrow. Yes, I could probably do something like that. It's also bear in mind that I've got my my TSM split here. If I change my settings, mine might look a little bit different to the default. If you go into the, now where is it? I've got embed tool TSM tooltips turned off. If you turn that on, it looks a little bit different. There you go. And you can see there, that's actually a little bit bigger actually, you can probably see that a bit better. Under TSM accounting, you can see there I've got a purchased, I've got a sold, min, average, max, last sold, cancelled since last sale, then sale rate, then purchased, min, average and max. And the average is the one you want to look at. So the average price, and also bearing in mind you've turned smart averages on, which only takes into account the things you've got in your bags and your bank. So if you go into your settings and under your accounting, you turn on use smart averages for purchase price. Otherwise, TSM will take all your historical purchases, and if you include the stuff that happened right at the beginning of BFA, then your prices are going to be a little bit out of whack. So that's another thing to remember. Just thought of that. Is it possible to create a trial class toon and go straight to Colteris, learn gathering and start farming right away? I don't know what the limitations are now on trial classes. I think they've changed a few things since they first came around. Yeah, you're going to try it right now. Okay, fair enough. You've seen it, excellent Fenris. Good to know. Oh, Mushy's got smart averages there as well, yes. But they did nerf class trials, it's not 100% sure exactly. Darkwing Gent, how are you? Thanks for stopping by, hope you're doing well. Which race class is my favourite to gather? Purely farming, gathering. Any thoughts? I would say Druid would be the best one, simply because of the flying and the instant cast. So whatever gives you Druid. Yeah, as Will said, Druid 100%. Druid for farming. Or a tank with a Sky Golem is also useful, because then you don't get dazed, and the Sky Golem is also pretty cool for mining. It's all very important info that was followed along with me. That's excellent. Good to know. Glad I'm making some sense. No problem, French stud. Your main is a druid, and it's awesome. Excellent. Well, make sure you enjoy it. That's the other thing I'd make sure to say. We just got your corrupted Dreadwing man. Oh, congratulations, Proxiva. Let's see some chef sats and thumbs up for Proxiva. Lovely mount achievement. I got no idea what that looks like. Corrupted Dreadwing. Let's have a look. Mounts. Corrupted Dreadwing. Oh, right, that one. That looks pretty nice. Costs. What was that? Is that time walking things? Not sure. This toon is a temporary 3 hours toon trials. Let's see. Okay, let us know how you get on, French stud. How many? Oh, is that Apexis crystals? 150,000 Apexis crystals. Wow. Okay. Apexis crystals. I have some of those. Where's my currency? I've not done anything with them. Apexis, Legion, Draenor. I have 64,000. So actually, that's not too bad. You're halfway after playing quite a lot in WoD. Oh, okay. So I'm not doing too bad. That was after me trying to get flying, mainly, wasn't it? That was a fun time. Yeah, exactly how much I did with learning the flying. That was the thing. Leveling up from 5 to 120 purely for mining herbs as a side project, and to see how much gold that would work out to. It's a good idea. I reckon it would be quite nice. Right, let's see where we're at. Did we pick up everything from the mailbox? First and foremost, yes we did. Okay, let's pop some of this stuff in the guild bank because we're filled up with a load of things here. Let's get ourselves a little bit tidier. Way back in the day, before the Long Boy Challenge took over. Yeah, I remember it well. It's nice to go through. The thing I like about WoW and challenges like that is to have some long overarching challenge like flying that you can work towards steadily over time. So you've got a bigger goal to go for, and then lots of mini goals that give you little achievements along the way. So for the same thing with the Pathfinder Part 1 at the moment, I haven't really done a lot to it at the moment, but achievements wise we're getting close to it, because where else are my achievements? Quest log achievements. Where's Pathfinder? So Pathfinder Part 1. I haven't done everything. I haven't done the Explorer. The Wide World of Quests I've nearly done, and the Lore Master of Kultiris I've nearly done. I've done that, I've just got to do the Just Do It, and Just Do It just requires Stick It To 'em, which we've nearly finished. And then from the World Quest wise, this one, we've at 93 of 100, so we're nearly there on that one. And then from the Exploring one, from the Explorer, we're pretty close to exploring a lot of these. I just need to go through and find those. No, Oreo's not around at the moment. Like Pandaria Rep for my enchanting tomes, that needs to be done. Exactly, Danny. That's one I'd really like to do. Pandarian Rep and doing the Deep Home one for the other tome. You just finished both Horde and Alliance side stories. Oh, excellent, Stevie B. How were they? How do they compare? Do you have a preference? Right, whilst we're doing that, let's have a look at just clearing out my guild bank a little bit. We probably want to keep some of these for the moment. Let's pop these things in for Erfen though. Erfen would like the Tempest Tide, and would probably like the Shimmer Scale, but not in that bank slot. I need to change the icon for that, that's not quite right. Mist Scale, yeah, all scaly things go in this one. Let's just move these across. And Mist Scale, and this one's Shimmer Scale, so that goes in the same one. Let's pop these in. That's filling up the bank nicely. Happy about that. Let's go through those. And what else have we got here? Calcified Bone. They should really go in... Do we have a Calcified Bone section? I'm sure I did have one. Where am I missing it? Oh, it's here. There it is. It's right in front of me. There it is. Okay, let's pop those in. Okay, that gives me a little bit more room. So let's go through with that done. Best way to rep time walking dungeons, then use the marks by rep. Yep, that's definitely the plan. Oh look, and there we go. There's one of those mounts we were just talking about. Alliance was more fun, was it? Oh, okay. Interesting. I'd like to try the Horde side though, just to see the storyline. Right, so where am I actually at in what I'm doing? I did have these I was going to make, so let's collect up these. These should be doable. So let's do tailoring, cooking and enchanting. Briny Flesh Alt Auction House. Let's open the task list for these. Where's the task list gone? I didn't click on it twice. There we go. Let's try it again. There we go. Okay, so cooldowns, expirations, buy from vendor. Okay, we can do that. Open up the vendor, buy those. So briny flesh is coming from Erfen. We only need 2 though, so rather than going through the whole thing of switching over, let's have a look. See if there's briny flesh on there. Hi, good evening, Rasheen. How are you? How's your weekend been? Hope it's all been good with you. All your prices are lower than Samadan's. Draenor is officially a ruined economy. Well, see if you can find some good bargains in there. Thank you, Mushy. Yes, that's right. From the QWERTY thing. Yes, this one is from the merch shop. I won't sit up too much because that'll do my back in, or my Latin rather. Doing fine. How am I doing tonight? I'm doing okay, apart from a pulled lat muscle. Apart from that, I'm doing all right, thank you. Yep, stick it in Discord, Fenris. I may not get a chance to have a look at it straight away, but it'll be interesting to look at after stream. So I just need some briny flesh whilst I'm here. So I'm going to buy a nice big chunk of it here at a good price. Let's start with that. And then the rest is from the guild bank. So let's go on over to that. Drop that in. Okay, so let's have a look here and collect up this lot, slimy mackerel, deep sea satin, and then open the mail for the briny flesh. So let's go round, let's go on Mushy's lovely wolf, head around this way, pick that up from the mail, and then we can at least get some of this stuff made. Right, okay. So also hexweave cloth. We need 42. Okay, let's go to the garrison, pick some of that up. Do this last bit. Draenor's much like any full pop realm, to be honest. That's why I decided to go to a medium-low one. Can't compare Draenor to Samadan's realm. Yes, your prices are lower, but also your map prices are lower. Yes, and Rasheen would know that. Definitely. Also what Rasheen said. Yep. You're talking about volume when it comes to high pop. Lots of volume. Oh, that was the wrong one. Let's just see what we've got completed. Some resources. Oh, we needed some, didn't we? So let's go through those. Pick those up. Then we can at least do a rush tailoring. We'll take that. And then let's pick up some extra resources because we need to start this up. That one and that one. XP wise, that could be useful for this character. Let's do that. That should be enough for now, and then let's head on round. It's just mirrored in there. Let's go round, pick up some more resources. There we go, another 500, and then we can fly on over. Speaking of Draenor flying, collect up our tailoring for some hexweave. Collect up all of that. There we go. And then, where's the work order? There you are.
Hello.
Let's create that one.
See you around.
And then head over this side. Pick up our fractureds. Lots of fractureds. And then work order wise, restart that one with the Draenic dust. Okay, so that's reset. And that should give us enough on everything. I guess it's not so much a bad economy, it's more a case of finding your niche within it. For people who need rep or XP buffs, remember the Darkmoon Fair is up, and you get 10% ref and XP buff from riding the carousel. Oh, thanks for reminding me, Rasheen. I didn't actually realise that was on at the moment. Where are we at? Here. What day is it today? Sunday, yes it is. There we go. So we've got that beginning. And then we've got the PvP brawl coming up. Packed House begins on Wednesday. That's something to look out for. Some more marks of honour. And then we've got Wrath of the Lich King Time Walking here. That could be cool. Right, so we should have everything we need now. But let's make up what we have. Just a few things. So let's do the Pact of Versatility, Quick Navigation. You make a living off people that think certain markets are bad. Exactly. If Rasheen is any example to go by, she can make money in many places. Trial of Style coming up soon, which could mean good shirt sales. That'd be another good thing. Get the weekly bonus rep from the World Quest and Darkmoon buff. Yeah, I don't do the World Quest one. Should look into that one a bit more. Let's do some Sinister Braces whilst we're here. And a Hexweave bag. And the outfits, you never know, we might get something decent. Let's make sure Pierre's here. Just make a couple of these. Add those in. Right, let's post that lot on. And then we can probably go over and check Erfen. See how Erfen's doing. Let's select all groups. Run a post scan. Will be a big bonus. Yeah, one to look out for, Daniel. Thanks for sharing that one. So, Silkweed Satchel's 497. Profit on that is going to be, see the crafting cost on that is, yeah, about 93, which is what we calculated before buying it. So that should be fine. I'll still go with that one. Hexweave bags are much bigger profit, but we can't make so many of those. Quick Navigations, 460 profit. Versatility is 1,300 profit. Sinister Gear is a lot of profit. It's saying 752, but considering we're putting this on for 7,000 and 1,700, so that's actually a 1,000 profit. Okay, let's put that on. There we go. Okay, done with that.
If you find anything exotic,
Now let's move on over to Erfen, I think. Let's just switch on out. And let's have a look at Erfen, see if we've got any sales from today for Erfen. So we don't necessarily need to make any braces at the moment, but we do have some materials for braces in the future. And we can do both Tide Spray and Shimmer Scale for a reasonable price for both, from looking at both of those. So, oh wow, we got some really good sales for Erfen, actually beating Samadan yet again. 2 days in a row. We have Sinister Combatants, Leather and Mail combination. Coarse Leather still doing well, with the odd little bit there. Barding and Drums of the Mountain. So Drums of the Mountain have been doing quite well. I need to up my number on those. We sold the 30 that I had, and then Drums of Fury, as always, are doing very well. So, very nice. Happy with that. Let's open up those. And then let's have a look at my restocking of Drums of the Mountain. So, drums, mountain. Group operation for that. We've got crafting 10 of each. Let's take that off and change it to not 100. I want something like 30. Or, no, 50. That would be good. So let's look at my operations, crafting, and take the 100, make a copy of that, and we'll change that to 50. Restock quantity 50. And then we can go and, oh no, we need to change that into the group first. Let's just fix that up. Go to Drums of the Mountain, Group Operations, Crafting Operations, change that to 50 of each. There we go. Ah, Sombry, how are you? Thanks for stopping by, hope you're doing well. Just that extra barding times 5 on the auction house. Same for the diving suits. Oh, is that in case of the extra turn-ins? So yeah, what are we doing on these? We've got 3 of each. We should really do a few more of those, shouldn't we? Diving turn-ins. maybe if we up those to 10. And so that was diving suits. What was the other one? Coarse leather barding. That one. We've got 3 of each on those. Let's up that to 10 as well. Now they've got manual prices for those, both the diving and the coarse leather. Even if I can list when I'm on lunch, yeah, exactly. It saves me having to make them. But you can't go craft right away. Exactly. Good idea, Mushy. Thank you for that suggestion. Okay, so looking at that, let's move out a little bit. So, leather working. Oh, here comes Oreo. Let's pop your camera on, Oreo. There he is. He's come to join us at last. You're the wrong way around though, Oreo. Come around this way. There we go. There he is, flopped down in front of the camera. Fortunately, I can't stretch to move the camera, but he's come to join us. So let's have a look at groups, restock selected groups. So 40 drums of the mountain, 7 diving suits, and 1 of the mail treads. Where's the coarse leather barding? That's not come in probably because of the price of it. Now let me just think about that, because I did have the coarse leather and the diving turn-ins on a crafting operation that was based off of profit. Need to invite Oreo to milk my bag. Oh, milk my bag. Yes, that makes sense. Although with his claws, he'd probably just shred it in the meantime. So thinking about that, the crafting operations for these needs to be a bit different, because coarse leather barding and diving turn-ins I want to make when there's not a profit on them, just so that I've always got a stock of them. So let's have another look at that. So we'll look at our groups. Coarse diving turn-ins. We don't necessarily want to do these when there's a profit with our crafting operation, because they're only worth selling when there's a turn-in, and we've manually set the price of those anyway. So maybe we need to change this. Maybe we need to make a copy of this. Go into my operations, 10 of each. Make a copy. 10 of each, and let's try this. No profit. I know that doesn't make sense, but it kind of makes sense in my head that we should be making these anyway. So instead of a minimum profit, I'm going to turn that off, and a restock quantity of 10. That should work a bit better, I think. So if we go back to our groups here, look at the barding and the group operation this, we'll take this one off and change it to the 10 of each no profit. And the same with the diving turn-ins, so that we've always got 10 on us. So we're crafting them just up to the maximum of 10, whether they're a profit or not at that time. And then when we put them on manually, then they'll sell when there's a turn-in. If there's not a turn-in, then that's fine too. Bone Arrow, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Thought the stream was tonight. Well, thanks ever so much for stopping by. We're on for a good little longer, hopefully, back permitting. You buy them the whole week and then make and sell during the turns for a big profit. Yeah, that's a good idea actually. I haven't looked for a shopping operation on these. So it's probably worth putting in a shopping operation, although I don't tend to do that much shopping of other things, but maybe I should. I'll have a look at that maybe another time. But first let's do these. So let's go back to my crafting operation. Let's clear this queue and have another look at this. And now we've got the coarse leather barding coming in, as well as both the helmets and the suits in case of turn-ins. You can do, is that right? You can do turn-ins for the helmets and the suits, or am I missing something there? Is it just the suits that do turn-ins? That's a shimmer scale and that shimmer scale, so it does use a fair amount for that. Is the tailoring deep dive all my tailoring operations groups? Yes, that's right. That's just tailoring on its own. They both exist, do they, Mashi? Okay, thank you. Yeah, the tailoring deep dive has all my tailoring ones for Samadan. Okay, so it's worth us making these and then hanging on to them when they become good. So let's have a look at those. We'll make those. Let's gather up this whilst we're here. We need 2 expulsum for this. Okay, well, that's good. We can help out there. So let's make... interestingly, we're going to use up a lot of the coarse leather there. Actually, we have plenty in the guild vault. That'll be fine. Okay, so let's go on over. Let's run around here. Collect up everything we need. Okay, so let's get that from the guild bank. Stonehide leather. Interestingly, stonehide leather must be for the drums of the mountain. Let me have a look at this. Do we have enough stonehide leather? Do we have a shopping operation for it is my first question. Shopping. We should have. We don't. Okay, that's something that needs to be fixed. The leather bank is strong with this one. We do definitely need more leather. Okay, it was stonehide, wasn't it? Yeah, stonehide leather. / exact, just so that we can get enough there. So, looking at that, 6 gold 42. Okay, my mat cost is currently coming in at 96 silver. Now that could be interesting. The region market average is 461. So that will be why my drums of the mountain had been so cheap. Let me just have a look at this in a bit more detail. Go back to my leather working. Crafting. Search patterns. Mountain. Drums of the mountain. So, we only have rank 1 of this. That's something we need to look into. Stonehide leather we need 10 of. Unbroken claw and unbroken tooth. Crafting cost based on the 10 stonehide leather. So the average sale of these is coming in at 37. So if those were 37, then buying 10 of these at 6 gold 42, or rather, yeah, 6 gold 42, which would be 64 gold per drum, which is way, way, way too expensive. Okay, it's a big loss, yes, definitely. So I really shouldn't be doing that unless I was going to get a rank 3 on those somehow. I haven't really looked into that. So this is not a market I really want to be going into. Not at that price. It had been artificially high based on my current price of stonehide leather of 96 silver, which is fine when I had it, but now that I've only got 76 left, that's no longer viable, really. Certainly not at those. You never bought the leather above 226. Yeah, I mean 226 would be about right, so those are definitely not worth doing at the moment based on that price. So you always said Drums of Fury. Exactly, the Drums of Fury are the ones that give me a good consistent one because of the raw beast hide I can get so easily. Whereas the mountain, I don't think I'm quite set up for that, not for the rank 3s. So sadly, whilst I was able to get some, let's change that. Let's just clear that off actually. I can use up my stock, but then that's going to be it, basically. Unless I find some more stonehide leather at a cheap price. Maybe keep an eye on that and see what else we can go for. If we look at this on, say, the Undermine journal, we can have a look and see Let's bring another window up. And we'll do a search. Search here for Stonehide leather. Oops, there we go. So, Stonehide leather. Yeah, the price here has really peaked up at 642. Whereas previously in the month, it's been more like 1 gold or 2 gold. So it's definitely at a peak, at a high. So I shouldn't be buying it for that price at all. You can see it's come in peaks and troughs. So what I'll need to do is look out for more of it, and then I can restock on it. But now is not the time, not at that price. So I could at least use the stock I do have, and then have a look for it at a different one. Someone's saying love the mount. Thank you. There we go. The Stonehide bardings also sell. Okay, so it's worth looking out for the Stonehide leather. Where is it on us at the moment? It's in the bank. Okay, so let's go have a look at that. Where's it from? You buy it from merchant for 5 million gold. They're probably going to think I'm joking, but well, that is the cost of it. There we go.
Come, let us parley.
So going over to here. Oh, what do they say? Hold on, I can't move this across. Whispers, 5 million. Okay, I'll not have in a while, lol. And so the gold making begins. You can do it with steady gold making tips. Come learn at Samadan Plays Wow on Twitch and YouTube. Sama thumbs up. There we go. There we go. Always encourage fellow goblins. By the way, I'm live. Yes. Oh yes. By the way, you are live on Twitch. There we go. Okay, so where's this leather gone? It's probably in my reagent bank. Stonehide leather. I know this is a mess of a thing. There we go. So Stonehide leather, Storm scale, Laystone. God, this is a mess. Where is the Stonehide? Deposit all reagents. That's not what I wanted to click on. Raw beast hides there. Hold on. Stonehide. Okay, so it's not in there. Reagents. Ah, there it is. Now I found it. Okay, so we got that on. There we go. Always trying to get new viewers. Love it. Well, I would encourage anyone to learn the art of gold making. Okay, so yeah, trial class 110 took 28 minutes, intro and stuff. Now you're going to Borealis and see. Okay, French Stud, let us know how you get on with your gathering. I'll be interested to know how long can you use a trial. How long can you use a trial for? Named her Samagirl Shadow Song. Excellent. 3 hours. Oh, it's not long really. Is it worth going through the half an hour, 28 minutes intro. Okay, so where are we at? Let's done that. We've done that. Well, I was looking at this so that basically I could look at the stonehide leather in my bags, and I wanted to put into a shopping operation. That's where I was headed with getting that out of the bag. So we're looking at Drums Mountain. So shopping, BFA shopping, no. We want Drums shopping. Where's the raw beast hide shopping? Drums Fury, oh here it is. So that really needs to be in Fury. Actually no, let's change this. Let's put that back in there. And let's rename this. Let's add that one in. And we'll edit this one. Drums shopping. There we go. Then we can at least have a look at that at the same time. And we can look out for stonehide leather at the same time as looking out for raw beast hide. But whilst we're here, we can at least do the stuff we do have and restock on that. So restock selected groups. The Drums of the Mountain were at 40. We need to really put those further down in the list, so not at 40. Let's change that to something a bit more manageable like we had before. Let's take it just down to 10 for now. That will do. And then we can go and have a look at restocking those again. Let's clear the queue and restock those up to have... Oh, there's none at all now. Even worse. Hold on. Why is there none? Because we've already got enough of them, probably. Let's have a look. Crafts, Mountain. Drums of the Mountain. How many do we have on us? We've got 10 on the auction house already, so there's no point making any more at the moment. So that's fine. So let's gather up what we need. We need 8 Expulsum. We've got, we also need coarse leather and shimmer scale for this lot. We have 236, need 12 and that. So let's bring open the task list again. We also need to make some braces for some Expulsum. Now we did say that shimmer scale was good for that. So let's take some of the shimmer scale. That's in this one. That's mist scale, that's shimmer scale. So let's take some of this, at least to make a little bit of it. Get the rest of that coarse leather that we need. So that's all done. It's worth to use Pew Pew if you... Worth it just to Pew Pew with you if we do a 2x4 again. Yeah, that was good fun. I would definitely be up for doing that again. Probably not tonight, French Stud, but I'll definitely do it again. Do I use BFA ore and herbs for my crafting? I don't yet. I'd like to once I start get alchemy going, definitely. And bones, yes. Let's have a look at what else we need. So Expulsum I need for the braces. So coarse leather, no, shimmer scale arm guards, bloodstained bones. We've got 1,500 on us at the moment anyway, so we can make 142 braces. So how are we doing for bag space? At the moment 129. So let's make 100 braces whilst we're here. And then we can at least spend some of that on Expulsum. So 100 of those. Let's create those. Shimmer scale arm guards. Expected the bones in the guild bank. Yes, some of them are. Some of them are in my regular bank. Messy warehousing, indeed, mushy. I've kept a few things on Erfen just because it's a lot easier just to craft straight from the bank. Proxima, thank you very much for the cheer 500. Very kind of you. You need 50 gold to learn mining and the herbalism. Aha, right, okay, so there's the next obstacle, French Stud. So how easily can you get 50 gold within your 3 hours? Or can you transfer it to another character? Interesting. I wonder if it's worth it. Do I have drop frames? It's not currently saying I have. Currently OBS is saying it's all green at the moment. Just killed a few monsters for greens. Yeah, that should get you going at least to start off with. Oh yeah, and vendoring those, especially if it's a weapon, that would help. What can you do in the 3 hours? And is it the most efficient gold making, I wonder? Or are you better off getting yourself a dedicated gatherer that you can then do all the quests for, like the herbs and mining? I'd probably think it's overall a longer term investment to not use the trial. No food fights. Okay, Mushy. Hopefully that fixes it for you. Just going to do another few more braces here. Importing the string corrupted something. Had to delete your TSM strings and reset it. Oh, interesting. I wonder why. Did you try it on a fresh profile, Arthurs? How did it go with that? Who do you think is streaming Gumdrops? We don't fight here. Yeah, that's true. Gumdrops does all the food fights. See if it's smooth now. Okay. Crocodile's got nerfed pretty hard. I think they even took away the level 3 garrison they used to get. Oh, really? Okay. All working now. I'm not sure what caused that. But now you need to sort your leatherworking stuff out again. Oh, right, okay. Hopefully you've got a backup copy of it. Okay, so that was a whole load of shimmer scale. So let's go and just post the blues to Samadan for later. So we can get those disenchanted at a later date. Groups, now selected groups. Let's send all those blues over. Okay, that's done. Now let's go have a look at scrapping this lot. And just check the queue. Queue all of that and scrap that lot. There we go. It's exactly what you do with all your free character boosts. What for the garrison? It's a good idea though. Can't pass on a free level 3 garrison, can you? No, exactly. Celebrating hitting 120 on your first character since return. Oh, excellent! Congratulations, Proxiva. 120, excellent. Now, what profession would you suggest you go for your second character? What would be the most profitable combination in BFA? Good choice. So, what did you have on your main? I believe it was tailoring and enchanting, wasn't it? I remember you saying. Mining, blacksmithing is quite a nice combination. How's the sinister gear with blacksmithing though? It depends on what you want to do end level, which is also true. And also what you find fun. I like the idea of alchemy, that could be a good one. Well, you're trying this because you found out that this trial class method to go into groups to farm transmog loot. Now you're trying it for gathering. Okay, I see. You got mining and blacksmithing on your first. Oh, okay, excellent. So I would definitely recommend tailoring and enchanting, as Mushy said. It's a good solid combination that I've used for many years. But then I'm biased really with my server prices. Yep, herb and mine if you like to farm, or even herb and skinning if you've already got mining. Or leatherworking and skinning could be another one. So many good combinations really. I mean, I hear a lot of things about engineering in terms of being good for utility for mains, but I'm not sure how it is for actual gold making with the things you can do at the moment. And jewel crafting, I think currently is a bit hit and miss because there's not many sockets in the game, but maybe that will change in the future. You never know. Alchemy and herbalism is also another good one. Yeah, Rasheen, it's a hidden gem. I don't think a lot of people do it, do they? It's a huge help. I have quite a few questions if you don't mind answering sometime. Started gold making, entered Legion, started TSM and BFA. Okay, no problem, Bone Arrow. Fire away. Current gold making is 6 tombs for sky golems and anchor week cooldowns, 1 hour ore a day, and Vala Sands farming for recipe. Very bad at flipping right now, still learning that. Wow, well that's quite the operation, Bone Arrow, getting those sky golems going. Does 8.15 has more sockets? Okay, that could be interesting. Good times for jewel crafters then. Is it Senders? So what kind of things, is it like the Mechano chopper thingy? There's a couple of mounts, isn't there, that's pretty good for engineering. Okay, so we did all of those scraps. How much expulsum did we get? 20 expulsum. Okay, that's good. Oh, usable items, is it? Oh, okay. Right, consumables. Ah, okay. Something I'd look forward to looking into later when I've got engineering. So let's have a look. Auto hammers still do okay-ish for you. Okay. You do mounts, but toys, pets, auto hammers do well. Ah, right. So looking at that, we should now have enough to finish our list up of everything here. So let's get on with these. Saying about 17,000 profit, according to this lot. Oh yes, Goblin Gliders, that's always a good one, isn't it? Looterangs, oh yeah, Looterangs. Erfen got one of those. That was definitely useful. Oh, we've got some Shimmer Scale Greaves with the Peerless. We got some blue ones, so we may have to do a send blues to Erfen for that, to Samadan for that one. We need to do a reload because we got stuck on this one, so let's just do a reload. See how that goes. Right, there we go. So diving suit. Let's go through that. You sell the blues for about 1,000 gold. Oh, okay. Maybe it's worth trying to sell it then. I was thinking disenchanting it would be better for me. Just put one on at a time. Let's have a look at what we have in our operation, because we've just done some Greaves of the Aurora as well there. So let's have a look at what our operation does. Let's just do the barding and a sinister gear. Primal elements are going pretty good on some servers. Okay, fire and air. Not a bad farm if you want to go for those ones. Gathering herbs and ore works on a trial cast. Okay, it's good to know, French stud. How much can you gather in that time, and is it worth the initial investment? You love farming primal air, fire, water, and volatiles. Yeah, I've done it a little bit myself. I quickly get bored with that, unfortunately. No, not that one. Not that one. Bags, that's what I wanted to look at. So what did we get there? We got a 233 Greaves of the Aurora and Greaves of the Peerless. Okay. So is that in my group for posting? Let's have a look. Coarse leather greens, green cell ×1, and that's in shimmer scale, so that's not in one. Let me just check my groups of those. I need to work this out. So coarse leather, greens cell. So those are all of those. Okay. No problem, Proxiver. It's the least we could do. Garrisons and auto hammers work well for you too. So a potential flip of anchorweed usually sells for 80 or more, but was up for 45 each. Okay, interesting. That's why I'm not a farmer. Yeah, exactly. Well, but that's a good thing about gold making. There's always something for someone. So these, why do we not have shimmer scale in a shopping list? That should be in a shopping list. Right, because we've got it in our other thing. We need to have that in there, just in case Erfen wants to look for it. We could do with this being the BFA, the Super Shuffle, but for the moment, let's just look at it at leather for the moment. That should be interesting. Also, Toff, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Doing okay, thank you very much. Pain seems to have eased on my back, so that's not too bad. At the moment, we're just looking at leatherworking and seeing if we can sell a few more things. So we're just looking at shimmer scale blues, coarse leather. The greens are selling here. We need to sell these. Average crafting singles max. We do have that on these. So maybe we need to have a look at those in more detail. What happens if we actually just go and post them on? See if that works. Let's go and do a post scan. Just to see what comes out. Does that shimmer scale go into the basic posting group before we post them? So diving helmet, barding, diving suit, coarse leather greaves, undercutting operation, shimmer scale greaves, undercutting competition. So let's post that lot on in case they sell. That's that done. And what does that leave me in my bags? That did post them on. Okay, so the blues did go on as a default, so that's fine. That leaves us with 12 expulsum. Now I could use those to make some honourable braces and send them to Samadan, but I might keep hold of those for the moment so that we can make some more sinister gear at a later date. So I think I'll leave that for Erfen at the moment. So with that done, we could probably do with popping back over to Samadan, unless there is any invasions or anything on. Doesn't look like there are. We need 114 to continue with that. We're currently at coming up to 113. Just Legion, is it? Okay. So let's swap over to Samadan and have a look at what we can do on Samadan's side of things. For some reason you can't put this sinister bow in the group you just made for it. Strange. Have you tried to reload? Is it soulbound? Would be the first things I'd be thinking of. Have you got ignore item variations on or off? Would be my first questions. Okay, let's go to probably Borealis. Let's have a look. Get ourselves in the right place first. And then we can have a look at what we need to do next. So I'm thinking character progression wise, there's stuff we can do for Pathfinder which will help my alts and their flight paths. There's things we can do for Marks of Honour which will help Erfen and his leatherworking. We could level up Erfen, or we could level up Awakening and have a look at Alchemy. But let's just have a look at where we're at with everything here. We've got Stormguard is currently on, which would give me not the full item that I want. Is there anything here that could be useful? What's the world boss? Let's have a look. That's over here. Sandswept Bones. June Gorger. Possibly do that for some more gear, possibly, but I'm not really too bothered about gearing up at this stage. Reputation could be a thing that I could look at. We're currently at reputation wise revered with everyone, so we're getting our way towards exalted. War resources wise, we're not got that many, only 157, so we need to look at something like that. Reloaded 2 times, also deleted the group and remade. Item variations is off, and it's not soulbound. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a good point, as Rasheen said. Is it already in a group? That was the issue. Not awake enough to see that. No worries, Arthur. So that's caught me out many a time. Thank you, Rasheen, for your help on that one. Happens to all of us. Yeah, it's definitely happened to me a lot of the time. Okay, so let's check the mission table. We got a couple of things there. We need to do that. Available missions. Anything that's a good reputation. Let's go have a look over at that. And then maybe you should have a look at doing a little bit of PvP. Just to try and get some more marks of honour for Erfen. I think that could be useful. Oh, thank you, Proxiva. That's an amazing cheer. Thank you very much indeed. Anyone know when 8.1.5? Are you buffering? Oh, okay. Why does Erfen not do PvP? That's a good point, actually. I've never tried. March the 12th. Yes, I heard that on the... It was the art Q&A thing they did. You have 72 marks of honour for your Warlock once it hits 110, so you can buy all the patterns. I mean tailoring, yeah. That's quite good going, isn't it? Okay, so we've got available artifact power, 100 reputations, not a lot really. We could get a 200% on these though, but I'd rather have the bigger percentages on those, so I'll probably leave those at the moment. Erfen's too young for PvP. Don't expose him to those horrible battlefields. You never know. What harm could it do at 112, I wonder? The marks of honour are the worst part of professions. It's a tough one, Bacon Bits, especially as, like you said, you don't enjoy PvP. But I think the good thing about that is it does limit it. It does make it a lot harder for everyone to enter that market, which does give you an advantage if you're willing to put the work in. Hensikai, thank you very much for the follow. So getting through spanning PvP, that part you're not looking forward to. Yes, exactly. He'll grow up fast. Yeah. Happy to have stocked up on them in Legion. I thought I had as well, but for some reason I think I spent them or deleted them. One of the two. And let's have a look what's currently available. Is there... We get extra honour if we do a random one. Oh, we haven't done this actually. That's another thing to do, is the actual raid. I haven't done either of the raids at the moment. Which servers do I make gold on? You see a lot of people doing from multiple servers. It's pretty complicated. I have the one server, Shadow Song, on EU. It's the only server I've ever really been on since vanilla, so that's all I've ever really done. It's kind of like a low stroke medium pop server. It's got some really nice prices for me, and it's the right kind of level for me personally. I don't get a lot of sales, but I do get some nice profit margins when I do. So let's join this for the moment. So the next brawl is in a couple of days. Let's do a random battleground. We could even try an epic one. I've got no idea how long that would take though. Let's do that one to start off with. How do you invite your own toons to a guild? Ideally you need a second person who's an officer that can then invite people in. If you've got a friend or a second account, then that's the easiest way to do it. I was able to do it with when my son was playing WoW, and I borrowed his, well, he invited people and he joins the guild, and we're able to add people in that way. It's the only easy way to do it, as far as I know, unless there's another way. Anyone that has Battle Pet Group operation that you could steal? For my Battle Pet operation, I literally use DB Region, but that's probably a sledgehammer approach to it. I literally go, oh, there we go, let's join the battle in a moment, and let's quickly do this. yeah, it's just basically DB region. Sell pets, that one. Let's just go through and do all of this. So I wonder if we can be lucky with a good sale here. Okay, sale, a good victory here. This could be a tricky one sometimes. We'll have a look. Right, wait for everyone else to come in, and then we can mount up. Since your stuff corrupted. Oh, right, okay. We'll have a look. We've got a minute 28 here, so let's have a look. So mine, groups, battle pets, group operations, sell pets. So I literally have DB region market average 20%, like that's really low, 400% and 150%. So I'll copy and paste that one in as a really basic one. Just use DB region market average is what I use personally. I mean, 20% is a bit low, but that was because I was selling some things like cats, which were really, really cheap. So let's just change this a little bit. Let's go there. Shift M for the map so we can see everyone else. And we can see that, we can see that. And then mount choice. Let's go full goblin on this. Might as well be inconspicuous as a priest. No one will target me now. And then we can head on over. Oh, hello Oreos. Right. Okay. Let's just follow the crowd. We're going left or right. Looks like people are going both. Let's go this way. Join in. They're joining that one. Oh, looks like people are going for the middle. Interesting technique. Let's join over. Oh, now we're stuck. We don't have any water walking, which is why we're just jumping around a little bit here. Oreo's pushing my legs. Very distracting. Claws in my leg. Not good start. Hold on. Okay. Let's dismount whilst we're here. Join in with everyone else. There we go. A little bit better. So everyone's milling around here. Where's Horde coming? There they are. They're over that side. Ow, Oreo. That hurts my leg. Oh, they're coming over. Here they come. Let's help on out. Let's go and do that. Get that going. Let's stay a little bit further behind here. The problem here... Oh, let's get out of line of sight of this lot. That's not going to be good. I think we're outnumbered here. I can help a few people, but not that many. Not when they were dying that quickly. Let's try and line of sight out a little bit here. No one else is over this side. Let's just sneak around this side. Pretend you didn't see me. There we go, that's going to hurt. Let's release on that one. Or place for Horde, yeah, definitely. Distraction techniques. Did also lose my transmog operation. Steal that info for when you're out of the battleground. Yeah, that one is it's the same actually. It's DP region market average. Right. Oh, did that just change that timer? Right. That on. Boost that up. Chef's hat on. Pierre out. Let's get ourselves a mount, and then let's head over to the south. Okay, we need to help out with this one. Looks like we could possibly do okay here. Yeah, we've done fine there. Now everyone's over that side, it would seem. So let's go join over that. Make sure they're okay. Looks like there's a battle raging at least. Yep, there's the horde. See if we can help out just a little bit. Ah, looks like they've killed everyone nearly. Let's get some more people in. Let's keep you alive if I can. Inefficient to use Shadow Mend, but you are on death's door. If I can keep you alive a little bit more. Then we can at least keep this flag. There we go. Get some shields going on everyone. Ah, they're over that side. Okay. Right, let's go join in and do this one up. Remember you gave me 3 different ones for min, max, normal. Yeah, I think the prices are... Basically, there's going to be basic percentages like... let's give you a boost of heal, viewer boost and you a boost. And I can at least join in. There we go. Where's everyone at? Oh, there's a huge crowd here, so I guess we're going for the middle, are we? Lots of totems there. Yeah, this is where the battle's raging at the moment. I'm not sure we have enough here. Let's just try and AoE in a little bit. We actually have to hit these totems, do we? How do you get rid of totems? Let's just stay in the background a little bit here. It's too much here. There we go, let's just move on out. Don't think we're going to get a decent enough amount there. Got rooted in the ground. It doesn't help really. Let's shield up. That's not going to help. That didn't work quite as well as I thought. There we go, let's go back for that one. Selling items to always use TSM. Keep getting issues that items being sold for less than DB market or less than it's worth. Tried multiple operations but can't make any that are correct. Have you got your... has TSM got your auction house data? Would be my first question, bow and arrow. When you register with TSM, does it have... Did you tell TSM what server you play on? Because sometimes the prices can be completely off if it doesn't have that basic data. Right, where do we need to go? There's Horde up there. We're here. Everyone's kind of spread out all over the place. Let's see if we can help out over this side. How are boomkins right now? I think they're quite good. I've not really played Awakening in a while, but Awakening is boomkin. That looks like a mix of people that I could possibly help out with. Let's come in here. There we go. Oh, we've got polymorphs. That doesn't help. Now I'm shadow locked. Give you a shield. Give you a shield. My levitate off died again. Really not a good tactic, that. Right, looks like Oreo's gone for the moment. I'll just turn your camera off for the moment, Oreo. Give us a bit more screen space. There we are. So we're slightly lagging behind versus the Horde at the moment. Chef's hat, Pierre, mount. Let's go join in. Looks like they've come in down here, so let's help out. Let's get those going, get that going. Give you a shield, you health. Got silenced, unfortunately. Let's run in here. Got shadow socked on, shadow locked. Now I'm outnumbered. Let's see if I can work my way around here. Shield up a little bit, run around a little bit. There we go. Okay. Okay, Will Webster, thank you ever so much for stopping by. I hope you have a good rest of your evening. See you again soon, hopefully. So that's for Anchorweed. What did I miss on there? Also, aka wannabe gold farmer. Anchorweed is 80 gold, maybe. Well, let me just get myself over in the right place. Oh, don't forget your chef's hat. There we go. The stuns are real. Yeah, definitely, Danny. Oh, what are we missing out on here? Looks like there's a fair amount of problems coming over here. So let's see if we can join in. There's a demon hunter we could probably help out on here. Digimaku, thank you very much for the follow. Let's just see if I can help out here with a penance, a shadow mend. Get those dots going. Get our shadow fiend helping out. Help out with all of those. Get the dots on there. Should have enough to keep this going. There we are. Smite will just help finish that off. There we go. Okay. You need a penance perhaps. There we go. And give that a buff, and then we can come and join over at some point. Are you not currently streaming, Mozeltov? When RL settles. Okay, fair enough. I know how that is sometimes. It can get extremely hectic. Okay, so how are we doing? 736 versus 966. Let's join everyone over here. How are we doing? Trying to get this one, hopefully. Do we need to stand here? Everyone's gone over that way. I've got a feeling I'm all on my own. I'll just prance around. There we go. Got some people over here. Let's see if we can help out a little bit here. Let's help you out, just if I can a little bit. There you go. Shadow Men's for the win. There we go. There we go. You did that one. Okay. Sorry to hear that, Molotov. That can be tough having to readjust to something like that. It's a big, massive change. Oh, they're coming flying in here. Let's see if I can just come out with a burst heal. Flyby healing. Let's get a few of those on the hunters. A few on there. Oh, got too many people here. And I'm all on my own. So let's just try and draw them away. Diversionary tactics. See if that works. Shield up. Oh, there's some more coming over here as well. So I'm just going to keep on running and dotting as we go. Yeah, this is definitely outnumbered territory. So let's just see if I can hide myself away. Got this one coming towards me, so let's just run myself round. Everyone's come up that way, so maybe if I can just come around here and distract them all. Yeah, and then we can mount on up and come back round. And then we missed that over with the horde over there, so Let's come on. Can we do this on our own? Let's just see if we can do that. Smite, Schism, Penance, toe to toe. That should probably not work. Now we're Holy Locked, so shadow mend that a little bit. Try and get out of that Holy. Stay out of that. That looked like that would have been painful. This mage is causing a lot of damage. So let's just see if I can just heal myself up. Disorientated doesn't help. Crowd control's a bad thing. Too many came into me. It was good while it lasted. Discon George, thank you very much for the follow. And apologies if I missed any other follows there. Velky Kappa, thank you also for the follow. Can't quite lean in and see the whole screen there. But apologies if I missed you coming in. Okay. Right, where are we all? Let's see if we can contribute somewhere on the map. We're here, they're there, they've got that, that's contested. So let's go over here this way. Tommy Dong, thank you very much for the follow. Now we're very much on the back foot, I would say. Where is everyone on this side of things? They're over that side. Right, let's see what we can do. Right, where are they? Get that going and that going. Oh, there's another one in there, came straight in there. Can't do that while being feared, that's for sure. Okay, back we go. Got stunned on that one, let's just escape out of that. Use my cooldown whilst we're here. Then I can use my fear back. Make sure those are going. Get some shields going. Try and heal myself a little bit. No, not quite quickly enough, unfortunately. Okay, that was close. Thank you for my bracelet shuffle spreadsheet. Oh, you're more than welcome, Tommy Tong. Hope you found it useful. You dried up your auction house of Temperside. Excellent. And calcified bone. Oh, ooh, that's interesting. What did we get? Sinister Aspirant Silk Cuffs. It's 370 wrist item and a steel strongbox. Okay, we didn't get a win, but we did get a strongbox. Now you're leveling your demon hunter to farm yourself. Excellent, even better. Hello Oreo, you come back. Here he is. Okay, let's leave the battleground. So that was quite good. Steel strongbox should mean hopefully at least one mark of honour. See how that goes. Alright, what do we go? What do we get? Let's have a look. So, steel strongbox. Oh, I've got the token to do. Don't forget to do that. Now, I can't see the steel strongbox. There it is. So, we got a Mark of Honour. Excellent. And some Third Wind potions. So, that's good. And then, gear-wise, we got this Warforged Silk Cuffs. We currently already have... is that right? We have Sinister Gladiator Silk Braces. Okay, those are purple as it is anyway. Although these Sinister Aspirant Silk Cuffs have Leech on them. Is Leech useful as a priest, I wonder? And Erfen, how are you? You'll stay, no worries, Tommy Tonk, thank you ever so much. You need some entertainment whilst levelling. No worries. I'm doing very well, thank you, Erfen. Oh, Oreo is attacking my hand. He's definitely playing for the Horde tonight. There we go. There's Oreo having his belly tickled. There we go. Leech isn't bad at all You reckon? For a priest, that might be quite handy, wouldn't it? Dado, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Let's move my chat window a bit further up, actually. Might as well add that in. I'll keep that for the moment. I could maybe decide to swap that one over. These cuffs versus the other one, basically, which are, now I've got a hand free. These are 370 with crit and haste, and those are versatility, mastery and leech. I think I might give it a go, you know. It sounds good. Even though that's purple and that one's not, I think that might be a good mix. May I ask why you sit on the floor? It's a matter of convenience, really, because this computer is my the family computer where we watch TV and everything, so it's in our living room, and so the most comfortable position to use this computer is sat on the floor. If I put a chair in front of it, then it would just be way too uncomfortable. So it's actually, you know, the main reason, really. Frank Ultra, how are you? Watch my YouTube vids this first time, see me live, love my TSM advice and pastebin. Oh, you're more than welcome. Welcome to the live stream. We've just done a PvP battle. Oreo's asking for some attention at the moment, so he's just joining in some Oreo cuddles. And then we just done the PvP. We just got some new gear. So I'm thinking if I disenchant this for a veiled crystal, that would be handy. And an Umbra shard as well. That's a nice mix. The Mark of Honor can go over to Erfen. Oreo keeps headbutting me. Right, so what have we got? Oh, we've got the arm guards here. We've got some sales as well from the night, so that's good. A couple of packs of critical strike. And a versatile navigation, so that adds to. We had quite a weak mailbox this evening of about 14,000, so an extra 6,000 definitely helps. We will need to do a bit of restocking there. I wonder if it's even worth doing a quick cancel scan, considering we've sold some enchants. Let's open these up. We'll disenchant these blues as we've got them. Let's have a look at these. So we've got all these blues here. Get ourselves, oops, wrong one. Disenchant these, so we can get ourselves some more Umbra shards and gloom dust. And then we can look at putting some of this stuff on the auction house. If you dry out the auction house from Umbra shard, prices will rise with the enchants. That's a good mix, definitely. Umbra shards were quite cheap. We were able to buy them at a decent price, so I would be tempted to buy some more. Zeli, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. How's your weekend been? Hope it's all been good. Right, so that's that. Marks of Honor is going to go to Erfen. Oh, we haven't got our chef's hat on. Let's pop that on. Oh, we just sold a Belt of the Aurora as well. That's another 8,000. Okay, so sales are looking up for Samadan. It's not all bad. Let's take that as well. And then let's look at sending the Mark of Honor to Erfen. So that can go on over. Send that. Whilst I remember, it's going to bug me if I don't do it now. So let's add this on to Blizzard Balance. This will give us £42. We need at least 52 for 6 months of game time. So let's go and add that on whilst we're here. Ow, Oreo, that's my jeans. 30 minutes of farming. Herbs and ore in Stormsong Valley, porting to Stormwind. Let's see the gold per hour. Okay, interesting French stud. Let's see what it's like. Oh wow, Proxiva. Another load of gifted subs. That's amazing. Thank you for your continued generosity. It really is amazing. Thank you indeed. Welcome all new people to the Samadan squads. Thanks to Proxiva. Let's see some and a cheer as well. just to render me speechless. That's amazing. Thank you, Proxiva. That's super kind of you. Chef's hat's thumbs up all round. Except for 2 minutes ago, you've reactivated WoW, so spent all day sorting TSM out. Ah, excellent. Excellent. Well, welcome back. Proxiva the provider, exactly, yes, indeed. Best way to get raw gold, Junkerman. Not an easy way, really. Mushy was saying some of the old world, like Pandaria things, are pretty good. Somehow it uninstalled itself 5 minutes ago. Oh, right. Okay, that's weird. Throne of Thunder. Yes, I remember Mushy saying before. Yeah, Throne of Thunder's a good one. I've not done it myself, but I have it on good authority. Run Throne of Thunder on every difficulty. There we go, that should get you going, for raw gold certainly. Looking at some of this stuff, we could probably do with tidying this up a little bit. Some of these old things need to go in, and some of these need to go on the auction house. So let's have a look at getting this one through. And let's get with that. That's another load of cheers. Wow, the bits are flowing in. Thank you again. I'm amazed, really am. Thank you. Old raids give a good amount, but yeah, Pandaria is the main one. I think a lot of them have been nerfed in terms of their raw gold potential. You just changed character and got a box saying TSM did an update. It might not work properly until you restart WoW. Yeah, that's been around in a few of the latest updates. I think it's pretty good. Just giving you a bit of a warning, really, that things have changed. Okay, so we're just going to go through and post some of these things on manually, like these netherweave tunics. Let's post those on for maximum. Let's post that on. There's 2 of those actually, so let's post another one on. And then what else have we got here that needs to go on manually? Green woolen vest. That should be fine at that price. Let's just post that on. Let's move my bags over a little bit here so I can see everything here. Simple black dress. Post that on. I'm pretty confident most of these prices are fine because my crafting costs are so low on these. It's just they're not quite hitting my minimum price. So sometimes it's easier just to throw things on. No heavy linen gloves. That's in Miss Outfits. Why that didn't get put on, I'm not sure. Formal white shirt, pop that one on. And the same with the red swashbuckler shirt. It's a shame I haven't collected a lot of these appearances myself, actually. 15k raw gold and a bunch of Spirit of Harmony. And the Spirit of Harmony is useful, definitely, because you can sell that quite easily. So looking at this, Trust Speaker's Pathfinder and Cold Scale Rod of the Peerless. Disenchant value 61, 81. Vendor sell price is quite good on that actually. So I'm just going to go and sell those. That'll be the easiest thing to do. Vendor sell price is 35 on that one, but 77 on that one, which is quite close to the disenchant value. So I'm going to sell that one. These heavy linen gloves, I'm not quite sure about those. Started learning all the appearances from all the things now. Just started with the classic. Yeah, it's a good idea if you're doing all the things. Definitely, you might as well. Using DB region market average as a save point for reference. 2,500 gold per hour for the first 30 minutes of farming herbs in Stormsong Valley on a druid trial class. Interesting. Not a bad start on a fresh server. So now what is the limitations when putting auctions on with that character? Do you have to give that to another character? Because if the trial's only lasting 3 hours, what do you do with the auction house? I'm interested to know kind of like how that works. Or can you mail it to someone? Mail or trade to another person. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's like 1,000 crafted items per character. Nail, cloth, plate and leather. Wow, okay. That is all the things, isn't it? It's amazing. There's less than that an hour before Alliance start contribution campaign on Darkshore front. Okay. The Breaker, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Do I have any tips for gold farming newbies? Number 1, make sure it's fun. Number 2, do something that not everyone else is doing, and find your niche. Investigate different markets and try and find somewhere on your server where not so many people are posting things, whether it's enchanting or tailoring or farming things or old world things. Have a look around, see if there's something. Try lots of different things out. Again, make sure it's fun. It would be the other thing. Start small and then grow your knowledge from there would be the other thing. You don't even have to learn all of TSM in one go. Just start off with a simple group for posting and then grow it up from there. Oh, thank you, Friendster. That's very kind of you. So I hope that helps. And if you've got any other questions, Breaker, have a shout out in chat and any of us will be more than happy to answer. I just want to clear out my bags a little bit here because there's loads of stuff here that's just messing things up a little bit. Weakening potion. Not sure what that is. That's done. That one we were going to disenchant, I think. That will do. Posting operations for transmogs. Yes. Which add-ons do I use? Trade Skill Master is the main one. TSM. That's the thing that will get you in it first and foremost. It's an essential gold making thing. If you want to learn about TSM, I have a YouTube series. Oops, caps is on, hold on. Learn. There we go. So that's a link to a playlist of my YouTube series that goes through all of TSM, getting yourself set up and starting with groups. The mail will take at least an hour, yes, definitely. Those bags are not OCD friendly, absolutely. We need to sort those out, don't we, Mushy? Okay, let's go have a look. Now it's very stormy. This looks very moody. Okay, let's just go and work our way over to the guild bank. Thank you, Frank Ultra, for the vote of confidence. Appreciate it. We're just going to go and have a look at my, I think reagent bank will sort me out mainly for this. Let's go have a look. I've got a little bit of free space here. Most of this could probably just go in as it is. Veiled crystal will keep. Fractures will keep. And what else have we got here? Tide spray and hex weave. Nylon thread can probably go in. Then that's a temporal crystal, we can leave that in. Sorceress can go. Redtail loach and stringy loins need to go in the guild bank. Same with probably that briny flesh. Let's go over this side. Let's have a look at this. And did we have some fish? We did. Had some redtail loach. And then we also had that briny flesh, which will go into the... Yeah, that's changed now, so we'll take that one and put that there. Put the briny flesh in there, and that should work. Oh, thank you very much for the follow, Broker. Hope you find everything you want here. Just going through, let's get that Shalderai silk out the way. And then we can change some of this. I've actually got some tie spray linen in here. I'll keep hold of that, actually, the tie spray linen. That should be fine. The same as the Arcana. Actually, no, the Arcana we can get rid of. We don't need that at the moment. I want to keep the Veiled Crystals, Umbra Shards and Gloom Dust on me, just to give myself a point of reference. Then whilst I'm here, I can make all these fractureds into actual temporal crystals, because that's the easiest way to do it. Just clean things up a little bit here. That's that. And then those 9 can go into the enchanting, not the fractureds, those ones. And we can pick those up easily with TSM. There we go. So you like enchanting tailoring? It's my favourite professions, definitely. The ones I've done since probably Burning Crusade, I would say. I've had enchanting since vanilla, and I dropped engineering for tailoring back in the Burning Crusade. Although that said, I haven't played Pandaria, Walls of Draenor or Cataclysm and the beginning of Legion. So I took quite a lengthy break from WoW in that time. Also, which class and professions combo do you recommend for gold farming? Well, I would say if you're going to farm things like herbs and what have you, then definitely a druid would be the best thing for that, simply for mobility. Although we also talked about a tank with a sky golem is also useful if you're going for straight farming. Oh. Slash wave. There we are. Any suggestion on understanding market prices? I'm having trouble selling items with everything always changing. Thanks for the advice so far. No worries, Bone Arrow. The thing I would suggest for market prices is check the Undermine journal for a lot of things. If you go over here, and if we go to the Undermine journal here, you can look at things here and look at, say, for instance, let's have a look at tailoring, and then look at something like Deep Sea Satin, and then you can have a look at the prices, see what the fluctuations are, and see what the quantities are like. Have a look at the charts here, what days it's cheap, what days you have lots of it. Look at the overall price over time. You can see here it dropped right down, and then since the beginning of this year the price on my server has really rocketed for Deep Sea Satin, so this is really useful for getting some decent amounts there. Oh, thank you, Arthur's. Very kind of you. So that's a good way of having a look at things on your server and seeing what the prices are like. Get used to looking at spreadsheets and graphs, basically. Farming with enchanting, can 2 characters be interesting? Skinning and leatherworking on one, that's also a good idea. Tailoring and enchanting on another one, that's a very good combination. Samadan and Erfen definitely agree with that. So, let's have a think about what else we could do in terms of gold making. So, we need to do a restock and recheck on Samadan. So, let's just have a quick look. Where are our auctions at the moment? So, we haven't got any sales at the moment. So, let's have a quick look. Deselect all groups. Let's have a look at enchanting, the whole of enchanting, and run another cancel scan, see where we're at on that front. Cooking and fishing all the way. Oh yes, definitely, Danny. They're always good backups, definitely. Made the mistake of going PvP on your 110 Demon Hunter, full of twinks in there. Oh yes, of course. 110, is it 111 as well? That's very much a niche market now, isn't it? Farming for Expulsum on a Skinner, Leatherwork, and Disenchanting and Crafting on a Tailor. Yeah, as Mushy says, that's a good combination. Oh yes, sorry, Arthur's posting operations for transmog. Yeah, I'll forget my head if it wasn't screwed on. So looking at those, we can do that whilst we're scanning actually. So go over here, and have a look at groups. So my transmog, let's go all the way down here to my transmog region average. So it was like as I said with the battle pets, old world region average is the operation I use for it, and on that one I just have singles of anything, and my percentages are 50% for minimum, 50% DB region market average, maximum is 300% DB region market average, and normal is 110% DB region market average. So it's those three. I'll copy and paste that one in, and then the other percentages are variations of that. So that's the normal, and maximum is 300% and minimum is 50%. So those are the kind of numbers I've just made up. For me, transmog is one of those things that I'm just happy to sell if ever I sell any. I sell maybe 1-2 pieces a month. That's about all really. So lots of undercuts here on the enchants. So let's cancel these, take those off, see if we can post them back on and collect maybe a profit or two. Lots and lots of undercuts, in fact. Okay, so with all that done, let's run on over, collect that from the mail, and then we can repost these back on. So let's take all these cancels. Wow, auction house is going fast tonight. Or rather, the mailbox is going fast tonight. Get all that run through, and then do a reload. It is very much so, Danny. Time is just completely gone. Thankfully, my muscle spasm has eased, so I'm not in pain anymore, which is also nice. Let's get rid of all of those. Now I should have room to be able to do all of these now that I've cleared out my bags a little bit. And the enchants stack quite nicely as well in your bags. So let's just do a quick reload, get the last one. No problem, others. I hope you found that useful. Oh, it's your missus. I completely missed you there. How are you? I'm doing very well, thank you very much. Mailbox was quite low, actually. 14,000 on Samadan, 16,000 on Erfen. But then, since tonight, starting the stream, we managed at least another, 10,000 on Samadan again. So we've had a fair amount of sales total up. It's not too bad overall. What else did I miss? What happened with the sausage achievement vendor Flippingo? We sold one of each French stud, so we certainly made our money on that. And we haven't sold any more since, but one each is definitely good. How much time do I need to earn enough gold for a WoW token on average? Now, I play about roughly about 8 hours a week, using my streaming schedule as a guide. Sometimes less than that, sometimes a little bit more, with the odd 10-minute here and there to repost on. And I made just under 1 million gold in February, if that gives you a rough gauge. Oops, wrong button. Cancels, control. Oh, I need to do a reload, I think. I think I messed out on something there. Any story time tonight? Oh, I hadn't considered it actually. We are getting quite late, so that could be something if people in general are up for it. Let's try that again. Something's wrong with my cancelling. I'm just pressing the wrong button. That's what's wrong. Okay, completely messed that one up. Right, okay. I was thinking I was cancelling auctions and using the control and the wheel mouse to try and get my mails. That's not going to work. Yes, do it. Mushy can't sleep. Yes, that's about right, Abrika. Would love story time. Okay, well, it's something we'll have a look at. I've almost finished. I've been reading the Before the Storm novel, which has been really nice. I'm getting close to the finishing the end of that. Okay, we need to just post everything on first. So let's select all groups of that, run a post scan. Been farming materials to make items. Is it more useful to buy from the auction house instead? It is if you can get them for a decent price. The best way really to get things in a certain amount of quantity is to go and buy them on the auction house. I would rather do it that way than go and farm it. Unless you find the farming fun, it all depends on how long it takes you and how much you get in that time. If you're doing something like a 2x4 farm, then you can get a lot of stuff very quickly. So that's also fun as well. So it all depends on what you're doing really. Alright, let's post these on. Not looking closely at prices, but they generally look quite nice from looking at all of these. Either in the thousands or hundreds. There we go, that's all done. Hello Jodas, how are you? Good evening. Hope you're doing well. You buy most. Sometimes mats are just getting too expensive. Exactly, and when they do get too expensive, yells peekaboo. Farming is a choice or not, or just not craft. Exactly. Excuse me. CDM40, thank you very much for the follow. More snow coming in East Coast, not fun. Oh wow, okay. Hopefully you're safely wrapped up. What would you pick as a profession for starting with gold making? If I was just starting Winchester, I would probably start with farming, gathering one, sorry, not farming. So I would use maybe herbalism and mining just to get myself started. Get some raw sort of gold coming in, and then I would probably move over to my old favourite, tailoring and enchanting. Or inscription. Interesting choice, Rasheen. Is that for the decks mainly? Time is money. If you want to spend time farming, you can save time while still earning enough gold. Farming gives you financially free mats, but buying the mats and profit that way gives you more time for other things. Depends on what you want to do. Exactly, Z. And also what you find fun, because fun equals fun too. Was Q not on much today, Mushy? Started this morning here too. Okay. Easy to obtain recipes, very little being reputation gated. Oh right, yeah, the reputation's an interesting one. Okay, well, I'd like to get inscription going. I'd like to get all the professionals going, obviously, but that's good to know. Yeah, we posted on those. Hope to get from 65 to 70, but with the 2,500 odd items in this group, yeah, that's a lot of work. Wow. He felt a bit under the weather. Oh, sorry to hear that. Hope he feels better soon. Right, so we're looking at that. We need to probably do a restock if we do have any sales. Because we did have a few, didn't we? So let's just have a quick look. There's our auctions. Quick restock would be just a couple of packs and a belt. Okay, so let's gather those up whilst we're here. That's from the guild bank, so we can do that quite easily. Let's just do a quick restock. Go and do this at the same time, and then we can maybe think about some story time towards the end. Alright, let's go through that and collect up everything we need there. Then come back this way. Make the things we need, which is going to be 2 packs of critical strike and 1 combatant's belt. There we are. We've got to farm the higher end glyphs to make gold in inscription. Yeah, I've heard some good things about the glyphs. I did pick up a glyph just to try and sell it, and never had any luck with it, unfortunately. So that's done, that's done. Oh, we haven't got a temporal crystal cooldown done there. Let's just do that whilst we're here. And also a couple of tailoring ones we missed there. Let's do that. And that one. Imperial silk and celestial cloth. Might as well do your cooldowns whilst you remember. And that's done. And then we did do the things we needed to do. So let's then go and do that. The inks really fluctuate in price though. Okay, make 125 different inscription items. Sell about 10 per relisting. Alright, okay. Inscription made you over 500,000 profit today. And the rare glyphs were a very small part of that. Wow, okay. It's just amazing when you talk about your numbers, Rasheen. The number of tie spray and everything you get through is just, the mind boggles, the volumes you go through. The true life of a gold maker. So that's going on for 2,800. So that's a good 1,200 profit on the Pact Critical Strike. The belt is also pretty good. So let's get those two on. That's why you love your farmers who farm the stuff you need. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right, okay, we're done on that, done on that. Let's have a quick look shopping wise. Quick look at the super shop. All we could also do with looking at the feast ingredients. Let's see if there's any cheap things that's come on over the course of the evening. Like that shimmer scale. And that tempest hides, not quite cheap enough. But our shimmer scale price was going up to 10 gold, wasn't it? We bought a fair amount of that. So if we can get some more shimmer scale, where is it looking at? Let's have a look here. We've got, let's leave that one on there. And let's scoop up these scraps of shimmer scale. Up to the 10 gold mark. And let's take those two just under that. So that's that side. Bloodstained bones and everything else is overpriced. Calcified bones at 3 gold is, and then yeah, coarse leather at 12 is too expensive. Nylon thread's too expensive. So let's leave those. And then let's go check Captain's feasting ingredients. Worth having a look at that, because we want to have a look at. Now I have bought a lot of Frenzied Fangtooth already, so that's not really a problem, 1,000 of that. The main problems we have is Meaty Haunch, which there is some at a decent enough price. By decent I mean 32 gold is pretty expensive, considering the region is 11 gold. But that's expensive for me, that's decent for me, and I can occasionally get ridiculous. Go farm it yourself. This is true. This is what Mushy was saying about when things are just too high, and this is one of those cases. If I went and did a whole load of pig farms, that would be quite decent there to get some of those. And the same with the stringy loins going there at 18 gold, which is also pretty expensive, which is why I'm not making much on the Bountiful Captain's Feasts really, because these prices are just too high. Absolute redunculous. Exactly. So let's leave that for the moment. Let's look at BFA enchanting mats. We were having a look at that, those Umbra shards, which were about 188, was a reasonable price. We could maybe buy some more of those and push the price of enchants up a little bit. So we're there at 198, so slightly higher than we can make them ourselves. Our mat cost being 188. The Gloom Dust is actually fairly reasonable, but we do have a lot of that anyway. It's the Umbra shards that most people have trouble with. Looking at this lot, we could maybe buy some up to 200. but I think we've already bought some at a decent amount. I'm happy to let these go for now and see what happens next time. Do you not enjoy killing pigs? Have Earthen Farm, Hangman's Point, and Dressfar, good for leather scales, stringy loins, and meaty haunch. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones, isn't there? Oh, thank you for the uptime reminder, Mushy. That reminds me that we should really do some story time fairly soon. Hangman's Point's where you farm. So Hangman's Point, let's have a quick look at that.
Find anything exotic, bring it.
That's over down here somewhere, isn't it? Cemetery, Carver's Harbour. Hangman's Point. I don't see it on the tooltip, but then it's only got the main bits here. Keep wanting to make flasks, but your crafting cost says you get no profit. Better to sell herbs instead. Besides procs, but that's random. Yeah, exactly. If it's not saying it's a profit, then I would look at trying to reduce your material prices, or to increase the prices of the flasks. Maybe you could reset them, or just simply sell the materials and get some gold that way. Right, let's do story time as a way to finish off tonight. I've been reading the collector's edition novella, so let's go get the book. Oh, that reminds me, actually, I got this given to me by my son, who picked this up from his DM. I got a Cataclysm mouse mat, which is pretty awesome, from Steel Series. I thought that was pretty cool. A nice goblin mouse mat, which is really nice. It replaces my little one that I had earlier. But let's go get the collector's edition. Just disentangle myself from the wires. I'll be back. That's funny. Oreo watched me walk away, and he thought I'd finished streaming, because whenever I finish streaming, he has a little brush and he goes all purry on me, and he thought I was finishing there, so he's come on over. Here he is. Right, let me just readjust things. There we go. On the eastern coast, just far near Tiragard Sound. Ah, okay, brilliant. Adjusted your crafting for rank 3 crafts to 1.4 to account for the proc rates. Make large batches at a time. There's less random number. That's true, actually. Careful with the back. Yeah, I have to just make sure I just roll over carefully. Then you can craft an individual loss, but still have a profit. Good idea, Sensors. Especially if you're going to do volume. Definitely recommend that. Alright. Oreo's found himself a position in front of the camera, so he's all set. So we have the collector's edition novella, which we've been reading. We've got through a fair amount of it. You've read all of this, and we've gotten to the point where what had happened. Mia, Gen Greymane's wife, had gone over to help out with the evacuation. That was the last thing we had. So we'll just finish off the stream with a little bit of Samadan Storytime. Or he's listening to full attention mode. Yeah, because he knows he's going to get a brush later. Right, okay. Actually, I think before we start, we should get ourselves over to a more subdued sounding area, because this is all about the night elves getting attacked. So we're going to fly over to Stormsong Valley, because the audio there is pretty cool. Okay. Meanwhile, Oreo is just curled over. Hold on. As we're doing story time, let's move Oreo over so he can join in story time, seeing as he's just upside down at the moment. There we go. We can have Oreo story time. Okay. Right, let's go have a look then. Right. Aid continued to trickle into Silverwind Refuge. Delaran harboured no illusions that enough would come, or even could come, in time to defeat the Horde here. But the Falfaran was the perfect place to slow them and send some of the orcs, trolls and other Horde members to meet their ancestors. Oh, now Oreo walks off. Okay. He's gone. Let me just put that... Oh, now I've moved the wrong thing. Let's move that back and I'll carry on. Too good to last, sorry. They will arrive shortly. Despite the druid's exhaustion, he offered reassurance. The woods and waters are our friends. The more we can work with nature, which has nourished us so profoundly, the more our enemies will despair. Thank you, Delaran said. Your skills will be invaluable here. Ashenvale is grateful, as am I. Hold on, we missed a bit there. There was a bit before. Do apologise, I'll go back and read that. A druid, exhausted from flying all the way from Darnassus, arrived with a letter from Malfurion. Ariadna had reached him. He told Delaran Tyrande was with King Anduin, who had pledged to help with the evacuation and send reinforcements. For his part, Malfurion had dispatched several groups of druids to assist Delaran. They will arrive shortly. Despite the druid's exhaustion, he offered reassurance. The woods and waters are our friends. The more we can work with nature, which has nourished us so profoundly, the more our enemies will despair. And thank you, JFX2, for the follow. Thank you, Delaran said. Your skills will be invaluable here. Ashenvale is grateful, as am I. She ordered that food and drink be brought to the weary druid. Then she unfolded the letter. It was good that evacuations were beginning, but Delaran was concerned. Like the Explorers League's dwarves, most travellers would go through portals one by one, by twos or threes at the most. It was a marvellous way for an individual to quickly get from one place to another, but not to evacuate an entire city, not to transport an army. We will hold the Horde as long as we can, she had told her troops. Every step they make on our land will be dearly bought. And thank you also for Trip on the Ship for the follow. She fervently hoped that Malfurion was offering suggestions as to how to make that statement true. I have sent a message to General Feathermoon, the Archdruid had written. The fleet, bearing the General's soldiers, is to return immediately. I have authorised Magni to assist you as well, and will be making my own way to Ashenvale shortly. Have courage, Commander Summermoon, you are not alone. Alune be with us. When a portal whirled open, the normally reserved night elves cheered. The Magi who stepped through, who until this moment had only cautiously been made welcome in Darnassus, smiled in surprise. The cheers swelled when they each opened another portal, and reached a crescendo as over the course of several minutes, and with not a few interruptions, a dozen bears, druids and nightsabers came through. Thank you, Shando. We will need your fire, Delaran said to two of the Magi who had introduced themselves as Savonis and Ralara. We have things to burn. The bridges over the Falfaran River, exquisitely crafted arches of wood and inlaid stone, would of course be the first to go. Dalaran had sent troops across them, 10 to 20 at a time. They too had orders involving fire. Ferren had reported that the Horde had siege engines. If the invading army could get them from Mortian Rampart to the river, they could cause severe damage, and if they crossed the river, the thought of the Horde in Damascus crawling over its beautiful white stone walkways, defacing its temple, looting its precious artifacts, and even trampling the green living spaces that had been so carefully interwoven throughout the city, Dalaran could not permit herself to contemplate it. The more siege engines and weaponry they could sabotage here, now the fewer there would be on the sands of Darkshore attacking her home. All who could walk were pressed into service, even those generally regarded as civilians. Tailors, food merchants, innkeepers had learned over centuries how to fight well enough to defend themselves. Those few who could not, mothers with infant children, the wounded, had been portaled to Stormwind when the Magi arrived. Dalaran watched, feeling wretched, as though she had ostensibly been sent here to protect, joined their sentinel sisters in racing silently across the bridges, armed with bows and daggers. She felt, rather than heard, Ferren stepped beside her. He placed a hand, warm and strong, on her shoulders, and for the briefest moment Dalaran would have given anything to lie with him again, as they had that morning, before the quiet of their forest had been shattered, or better yet, to walk with him in a Darnassus that was safe and calm. The Magi stood, awaiting the order. Dalaran took a deep breath. Burn them. Sarvonis cupped each of his hands and moved them around one another. Dalaran was absurdly reminded of how she had once made a snowball on top of a mountain and flung it at an unsuspecting Ferren. The memory quirked her lips in the ghost of a smile. There was a tiny flicker of light in the Mage's palm, which grew into a small ball of orange flame. The ball sprang from Sarvonis' hands, soaring toward the bridge. The beautiful construction burst into flames, filling the night with a loud, angry crackling. The faint sounds of shouting reached Dalaran's ears, and a thin trail of smoke climbed upward from the distant trees. One siege engine was already destroyed, then one fewer machine to rain stones upon a city that had endured so much in its short life. And then the pounding of drums. She tensed beneath Ferren's hand. "Tell me what you need from me," he said. To survive, she thought. What she said was, "You have worked with these druids before? The ones who came through the portals?" "A few, yes," he said. "We make a good team." "Then take that team and make the Horde think that our numbers are greater than they anticipated." Ferren looked at the river, which now bore away small chunks of charred wood. His gaze followed the blackened pieces of the bridge downstream. Then he looked upstream, his eyes narrowed. "I believe we can do exactly that," Ferren said. He pulled Dalaran to him, and kissed her, softly this time, and pressed his lips to her forehead. For her ears only, he whispered, "I know you are afraid, and I know that your fear is for our people, and not for your own safety. But do not despair, we are not done yet, and we will make every death count." He touched her cheek and was gone. Dalaran looked back across the river. She pressed her lips together tightly. "Come," she said to Sentinel Vanara, "let us harry them but beyond their imaginations. We will destroy as many of their weapons as we can. We will make them think our numbers are greater than they believed. We will pepper them with arrows, trip them and strangle them with the very trees of these woods. We will show them a ferocity that will shock and dismay them. We will hold the line." It had been years since Ferren had been to Ashenvale, but he remembered it well. The Falfaran River aided them now, but it could only buy time. The massive army that he had beheld would cross it eventually, even if it was on the backs of their dead. Which, he mused darkly, I would not mind at all. He did not know how well the enemy knew the terrain of Ashenvale, but it would not do to underestimate either Saurfang or the Dark Lady. The Horde had invaded and occupied parts of Ashenvale ere now. Saurfang would know, as Ferren did, that the narrowest point of the Falfaran was to the north, just below the ruins of Xavium. The Horde would head to that area. Ferrin's plan was simple. Per his commander's orders, he called all the assembled druids to him and explained it quickly. They have greater numbers and they know it. Our task is to make them doubt that knowledge. They will bring the siege engines over soon, looking for ways to cross. Commander Summermoon is taking the fight to them on the far side of the river. Others are patrolling to stop the Horde from crossing. They will sound the horns whenever the Horde makes a push. We will be ready for them at the pools near Xavian, and in other areas as well, where we are needed, when we are needed. They looked at one another confused. How will we do that? One of the druids asked. Ferrin grinned, and for answer pointed upward. After the first round of sabotaging the Horde's siege engines, Delaran called her forces back to the western bank of the Falfarin. They had done what they could, but now the Horde was coming to them, and Delaran let them. The Night Elves were equipped with horns. Any time the Horde gathered on the opposite side of the river and began to swim across, the Kaldrai fired their arrows, clogging the river with Horde bodies. When the enemy made it to the shore, the Night Elves descended upon their luckless foes, surrounding and butchering them, retrieving the arrows that ended their lives, then turning on the next Horde members who had the misfortune to have slogged forward. Ferrin's plan, to have clusters of druids moving through the trees each time they heard the call to fight, was working brilliantly, but it would not last. The horns seemed to be sounding their incongruously sweet notes every moment. She had not sought the role of commander, but she would not shirk it. Now she jumped into the fray, fighting furiously alongside her comrades, using arrows for longer distance kills and the moonglaive for closer battle. A group of 6, 3 trolls, 2 tauren and a blood elf climbed onto shore. Their warriors, the tauren and the 2 of the trolls, had made a shield wall and were deflecting the worst of the showers of arrows. Delaran slowed her breathing, took aim and waited. There, 3 inches of space, she let her arrow fly. There was a swirl of violet at the corner of her eye. Venara, who had been standing beside her, crumpled to the ground. An arrow, flecked with striped feathers, its slender shaft adorned with metal bands and beads, protruded from her throat. Delaran's instincts and centuries of training were all that saved her as she jerked aside in the barest nick of time. A second arrow sang in frustration as it sped past and embedded itself in a tree trunk. She leapt, flipping and firing at the same time. As she landed, 2 small points of red glinted in the shadows of the trees across the river, a face partially obscured by a red cowl. That face was a shade of grey-blue, but not the healthy, Elune-blessed colour of a night elf skin. This face had undertones of green, reminding anyone who saw it of the rot that lay behind it. The markings on her face were black, and her eyes glowed crimson. Sylvanas Windrunner. The Dark Lady Warchief of the Horde, slaughterer of thousands. Everything that was an anathema to the Night Elves, contempt for nature, hatred of life, reckless action, was embodied in this single monstrous banshee, and she was here. If their warchief fell, the army could be flung into chaos, cut off the head and the body would fall. In the space of half a heartbeat, Delaran had drawn and fired. Sylvanas was not there. No, Delaran could not suppress a short, harsh cry. I could have ended it all, right here. A fresh bombardment of arrows descended with shrill cries. Delaran fought back, crippling despair. It would only serve to strengthen the enemy. She would not give up hope. Elune, protect your children. Protect from these monsters. Give us strength to fight this battle and keep our people safe. And, as if in answer to that prayer, several lightsabers bellowed behind her. Huntresses from Astronar had come in to join the fray. The weary combatants cheered. One huntress rode up to Delaran. The commander kept firing, but strained to listen to her tidings. The Shando is coming. Malfurion Stormrage was almost here. As he had promised, it was time to fall back and begin the next phase. Find me a druid, she ordered the huntress. The Chandro needs to know that the war chief is here. The horns sounded from the south, announcing a fresh wave of horde who had unwittingly volunteered to die. The muzzle of a night saber was not built for smiling, but even so, hot delight tugged at the muscles around Ferrin's great fangs. The plan had been brilliant. Every time they dropped from above, in the forms of night sabers or great birds, the horde members gaped stupidly as death descended upon them. If they looked up at all, which was infrequent, the 16 druids navigating the canopy of Ashenvale were swift, silent and careful. With so many of them in the branches, it would be easy for a bough to give way. But Ferrin's pack, as it were, had centuries of experience in these forms, and calculated risks so rapidly they didn't even notice they did so. From branch to branch, they sprang, as silent as death, moving in perfect rhythm, in time with their breaths, at the beating of their hearts. At one point, a sound made one of Ferrin's ears swivel in that direction. He turned his great head and sniffed, but there was no scent, and he saw nothing. He had just landed on another branch when, behind him, 2 of the great birds shrieked in agony. One plummeted toward the soft grass below, while the other slammed full force into a tree. When the next shuriken sliced through the air, Ferrin heard them and leapt sideways, twisting his feline body, reversing direction with his remaining brethren to kill the killer. One of his companions was not so fortunate, yowling and tumbling from the branch. The cruel winds that had kept him from scenting the blood elf shifted, and the stink filled Ferrin's nostrils, but he could not pinpoint the rogue's location. Then, there, the foolish Sindorai had betrayed himself, leaping through the pale moonbeam, landing on one tree branch and springing off it to the next. Ferrin and the others gave chase. The rogue's direction away from the battle lines was deliberate, that much was certain, but he did not fully appreciate that he was in their world now, not his shiny red and gold capital. The very roots and twigs and leaves obeyed a druid who had shifted into Calderai form, allowing her to harness the anger of the violated forest. The trees were awakening, their leaves trembling, preparing to seize the interloper. 2 more shurikens whirred through the air. Ferrin and the others twisted and dodged, only their mastery of these forms enabling them to land on the branches or fly in open air. Shenda, sleek and blue-grey and infuriated, pounced at the blood elf. Her claws extended, her foot-long fangs bared, and Ferrin watched in horror as Shenda's throat was suddenly open, blood flowing like a river as she tumbled toward the ground. Up ahead, a cluster of Ferrin's brothers and sisters, their focus too intent upon their taunting prey, landed on the same jutting bough simultaneously. But the rogue was not there. The branch gave way with a terrible crack, augmented by the shrieks of the night sabers before they landed with devastating thuds. It was too late. Ferrin knew it as soon as they fell. The rogue would kill them before they could recover to defend themselves. Those druids still in the trees flew or leapt from branch to branch to help. Ferrin gathered himself to follow. A heartbeat later, the powerful sound of a gunshot echoed. The rogue had a friend. Good. Ferrin, in his grief and rage, was ready to kill more than "Go," came a single whispered word. Other ears would think they heard only the wind sighing in the leaves, but Ferrin knew the voice of his Shando. Malfurion storm rage. Ferrin could not see his teacher, but Malfurion could see him. Not just him, but his furious, breaking heart. As he so often did, the Archdruid spoke exactly what Ferrin did not want to hear, but needed to. Ferrin clung to the tree tightly in protest. His vision was red with fury, and his taut feline muscles strained to disobey. But the Shando was right. The rogue and hunter would be no match for the Archdruid, and Ferrin could live to continue the fight. He felt a brush of healing energy refreshing his limbs and enlivening his senses, though not soothing his spirit. Below him, the rogue, the hunter, and his pet were executing Ferrin's brethren. He heard their cries, smelled their blood, and still he had to leave. With a snarl of anguish, Ferrin gathered himself, whirled, and headed back to the river. As naturally as breathing, he leapt from branch to branch, channeling his rage into movement. Following the Falfarans south, Ferrin had almost reached the area where Dalaran was fighting, when he heard a terrible creaking, groaning sound. He had fought in Northrend, He had heard the sound of ice and snow. He had witnessed glaciers cracking as huge chunks of frozen seawater, all shades of blue and green, sheared off and toppled with deep rumbles into the frigid depths. And he knew this sound too. This was the sound of ice being magically created. They were freezing the Falfarin. How did we not foresee this? Farron thought despairingly, his muscles bunching and releasing ever more rapidly as he sped through the thick branches. He squeezed his eyes shut against a sudden orange brightness. One of the Horde's Magi had created illumination for their comrades. Farron dug his claws into the branches to keep from falling as his brethren had. They were shouting now, chanting in one of their ugly languages. After a precious few heartbeats, Farron shook his head, opened his eyes, and resumed racing along the upper branches. As the Druid and his pack had run up and down the river, attacking those Horde soldiers who tried to push onto the bank, they had been joined by other night elves. The Druids had learned that all the highborn Magi were gone. They had helped immeasurably in the early stages, setting aflame to many of the bridges and siege engines, but Sylvanus' archers, and perhaps the Dark Lady herself, had homed in on them as targets, to be eliminated as quickly as possible. And so there were no Magi to melt the ice that had once been a swollen river. The magical illumination had disappeared, night had fallen again, and that was the Calderized time. Most of the Horde races were lovers of the sun. Nightfall was a challenge to eyes more used to the bright glare of deserts than the shade of the forest. Farron also had the augmented vision of the great cat whose form he had taken. He glanced through the foliage to the ice below, glittering in shards of moonlight. The first wave of Horde's onslaught had made it to the shore now. Some of them slipped and fell in their eagerness to reach the loathed enemy, but most of their wounds were only to their pride. A significant number had already crossed at this juncture. Doubtless more had crossed at other places along the Falfarin's path, and the High Overlord was among them. Farron's hackles rose. He filtered out the cacophony of battle, the clash of steel on steel, and hammers crunching bone, the cheers of the victors and the screams of the dying, the smell of blood so jarring when breathed, along with the fertile green scents of Ashenvale. Farron focused entirely upon the running orc. If I can take him out now. A few more branches, another leap, then the white-haired orc, wielding his axe with the skill and fury of a master, was one spring away. In the dim light, his attention focused on the press of battle. Saurfang would never see the Druid, not even as he died. Farron sprang, his jaws wide, claws extended, his heart slamming against his chest. Another brightness, and made his spell again. Saurfang's eyes met Farron's. The Druid was too far away. He felt the rush of air as the orc brought his axe down. So strong was the blow, so sharp was the weapon's edge, that for the next few brief increments of time, Farron was confused as to what he saw as his severed head hurtled through the air. But he had enough time to understand his failure before there was nothing. Wow. Well, that was an ending and a half. It's not over yet, but Saurfang just dealt a blow and a half. Right. Wow. Well, I did do that extended. I got into the story a bit there. Where did we go? What book is this? The WoW book. This is the novella that came with the collector's edition. This one here. There's also a Horde side, which I'll read after doing the Alliance side. But that was definitely interesting. Okay, so that was Sunday stream. You love Druid stories, balance with nature and all. Exactly, French. So let's have a think. So we did everything we wanted. We did story time. We got our auctions on, and that was scary. No problems in it. Now, Danny, you mentioned someone who you gifted the sub to earlier. Let me see if I can find... Oh, there we are. Sea Thrift. Yes. We already have her on my follow list. So we shall send a host over that way. Let me just wait for that to come through. Mute that one. There we go. Okay, so we'll throw a host over to Seathrift. Thank you all for a lovely stream tonight. My next one will be on Wednesday, so hopefully I'll see you then. I'll also have my February highlights video coming up on YouTube very soon, so look out for that one. So big thank you everyone for hanging out in the stream tonight, and let's throw a host over to Sea Thrift. I can spell that correctly. There we go. Sorry, I just want to make sure I spelled that correctly. Right, okay. Thank you all. Hope you all have a lovely rest of your weekend for what it is, and a good start of your week. And I'll see you all very soon. Good night and farewell.